pack of cigarettes, it's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
All right, it's Wednesday, March 5th. Welcome to Double Impact. I'm your host, Gabe Eltaeb from Big Man Comics. A little bit right there behind me is a page, or double page spread of the Unstoppable Tyrus that I'm currently working on. Jericho will be in a minute. I'm unsure where he is, but he'll be here sooner or later. Tonight's movie is awful. I was really happy with last week's movie. What was that? It was the first Roger Moore one. What the hell was it called? All I can think of is The Spy Who Loved Me, and that's his third one. This was The Man with the Golden Gun. This movie started off good. Like the first 20, 30 minutes, I was excited. I liked it. I'm like, wow, this is really fun. It's like spy, and there's all this intrigue and all. And it turned into a ridiculous like comedy, but like corny as hell. And then there was like kung fu stuff because that was all trendy because of Bruce Lee. And it was an irritating movie. It ended up being a very irritating movie. So Roger Moore is 1 for 2 so far. What the fuck was the movie last week? I can't even remember. I can't even remember what it was called. I just have The Man with the Golden Gun stuck in my head. But yeah, here's some Big Man comics for you, and we are almost there, ladies and joins. We're almost there with some new books for you. I think we're going to crowdfund Empyrean this spring. So I have until when is the end of spring? I say spring, but I don't want to say things and then not get them right. Spring ends in the middle end of June, so I have until then to start the crowdfund for Empyrean. That book is practically done, almost ready to be a print file for the printer. And then Tyrus, I'd like to put it on crowdfund right around Comic-Con in July sometime. So we'll see. This is page 4555 of the Unstoppable Tyrus right here. I've been inking this all day. It's looking gorge. Oh, None the Miser says, "Live and let die." There's Jericho. How you doing, friend?
What's up? What's up?
I'm in a great mood, but what I have giant feet. For those of you out there that were super curious, I know a lot of people, everyone's been asking, Gabe, how big are your feet? I know they're big. How big are they? They're humongous. They're huge. And I did that thing where you're walking through your own house and you fucking kick the corner of something. Why does that feel like the end of your life? Like your life flashes before your eyes when you kick something. And I didn't kick it with the big toe or the pointer toe, the second toe. I kicked it with the baby, the pinky, and the one next to it.
You know what? Oh. I think God was like, dude, I got all these extra nerve endings. Where do I put them? Well, the penis has enough. Why don't you put the rest of them in the pinky toe? All right.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, that'll put it all in perspective for you.
Thank you. My wonderful wife just brought me a hot.
What's up, Adrian?
Glass of tea.
Hi, Jericho.
See, there is a Miss Eltaeb.
Really, it's not just a myth.
No,
She exists.
that's not an AI voice I have here.
It's not an urban legend.
Why does it feel though like when you kick a piece of furniture as you walk to your house, you like tell my wife I love her? You feel like it's the end for about 5 or 6 seconds. You feel like that could be it.
You're this is it.
You know what else is like that is twisting your ankle, like rolling your ankle. Feels like you broke your foot off.
Yeah.
Then a minute later, you're fine.
Yeah, when you stub your toe, man, it's something you might feel a little sick. Forehead could get hot. You don't want to look because you feel like your pinky toe just exploded.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's all bad. Because you're taking a regular step, so you got full force behind it and just boom. I did that one time. Would
you rather cram your pinky toe right into that oak piece of furniture or bite your tongue full on? What would you rather do?
Oh, pinky toe.
Yeah?
Yeah, pinky toe. You got to eat, stuff like that. Eat, drink, talk. Yeah, I don't think I'll be eating or drinking through my pinky toe. So even though, I mean, it's still high levels of pain, I'll take that over biting the tongue. Because biting your tongue, whew.
That feels like the end too.
Oh,
so
man.
Pinky toe into the furniture, rolling your ankle or biting your tongue, it does feel like the end. Then you're okay 5 minutes later.
Yeah, my son, he did that not too long ago. He bit his tongue. I felt so bad for him. But out of the three, rolling your ankle is the least of the pain, I think.
Yeah.
It's definitely number 3.
Yeah, it's bad though. It does feel very terrible. So we need the screaming goat gif. I don't know what that is. Are you a GIF man or a GIF man?
GIF.
GIF, yeah.
Caramel or caramel?
Let me see. Chocolate with caramel. I say caramel. That's my natural instinct.
If you say caramel, you're like upper crust.
I
1%.
What about this? Caramel.
No.
Caramel.
No. Caramel or caramel. You either say it like caramel or take one of the A's out.
What about
caramel?
The little brother of the walnut? Looks just like a walnut, starts with a P. How do you say it? I don't want to prejudice you.
What? Peanut?
We have it as pie. I don't
pecan?
want to. Okay, so you say pecan. I say pecan. Pecan. Yeah, it's pecan
man.
pie.
I'm not saying if I were a dictator, I'd throw you in a camp, but I definitely, you'd come before some kind of board or committee to decide your fate.
If the guards were Latinas, I would go to the camp.
They're all big booty Latina chicks. No, I don't think that'd be much of a punishment.
If the guards at this imaginary prison were all big booty Latinas, I would just break the law constantly.
How can I? Where do I need to commit a crime to get sent to that particular?
I drive my car to rob the bank, and I'd make sure the car was on E before I got to the bank.
Yeah.
I guess you're gonna have to hold me away, boys.
Hey, stop bringing your own cuffs. Oh, I'm sorry, just getting ahead of the game. I know how this ends. No, that wouldn't be much of a punishment. But how about this? Is it apricot or the other way?
It's apricot, not apricot.
Or almond? Or
don't say almond, because I've heard people say almond, and it's like there's an L in that word.
Yeah, you got it, the almond. Yeah, the L. But it's almond or
almond with a D all hard at the end. No.
That's fine too, because technically that's the proper way to say it.
Yeah.
But if you say almond, no.
What are you, 4 years old? I want almond. I want almond.
You're going to be in some kind of livestock trailer, being taken somewhere if you say that. And around here now, this is more of a local thing. There's a place here. You probably drove through it or went near it when you guys are not out here, but near this on the Central Coast. There's a place there called Aptos, APTOS.
Okay.
It goes Aptos, SoCal, Capitola, Santa Cruz. They're all up against each other. But people who aren't from here say Aptos, and that's right up there with almond, caramel. That's Aptos.
No. There's a place down here on the way up the Grapevine, on the way up the valley, but it's closer to my end than yours. Still far from here, past Bakersfield, called Tehachapi. But it's Tehachapi, I think. But I saw a big billboard for like all the berries and the pie, all the fruit they grow out there. It said, get a pie and Tehacha pie. It was like, you know what I mean? They were making a little word game there, a little pun off. And I told someone, oh, yeah, I've been to Tehacha pie. And they started laughing because they used to live there. Like, no, it's Tehachapi. So I said, but the billboard said a pie and Tehacha pie. You wouldn't say get a pie and Tehachapi. Come on. That's like, what the hell are you doing?
Who's your marketing director?
Yeah, that's stupid.
That's fucking up. Come get a slice in Milwaukee. Nah, doesn't roll off the tongue.
Remdog 1138. Gabe Jericho. Evening, gents. About to start my editorial cartoon for tomorrow and draw with you. Any suggestions? I think the low-hanging fruit of the week is the Democrats. Just could they be any have any worse brand right now? Like, I don't know anyone. Like, I don't know how could you support this party publicly? They won't cheer for a 13-year-old boy who survived cancer. They won't cheer for like rooting corruption on the government. That's not partisan. That's not left or right wing. They want like
it's right or wrong.
Like I told my wife something months ago, and no one has talked about it. And Elon brought it up today that he's going to send another space shuttle or whatever to save the astronauts that Biden left at the International Space Station because Boeing and NASA couldn't do it, and Elon could at any moment. And of course, Biden didn't want to give Elon that win in the news. And it's like, could you put aside your fucking ego and save people from space? I don't know if you know.
No,
I'm no astronaut, and I'm also not a rocket scientist. It is dangerous to just be in space. It's just dangerous.
Be hanging out up there.
Just, yeah, I would go because just why not? We're humans. You have to explore. The wonder is worth it. But it is just deadly to be there because there's no margin for error in space. If something goes wrong, you're dead.
Yeah, if everything's not airtight,
right?
If there's any loose rivets, you're in trouble. Two things. Number one, if Elon Musk saves those people from the International Space Station, close down NASA. You're useless because we found one dude who can go up there and do what you can't. You're NASA. You have everything to go into space, right? NASA means.
I think they're working on DEI and turning the ship transgender right now.
But that's making it so you can't go to space and do space shit because you're NASA. Number two, you hear about the all-female flight crew, Bezos or whoever is sending Katy Perry and these other
it went really well for that airline that flipped the plane over.
Hey, come on, nobody died. The
only thing I want my women flipping is pancakes when I'm waiting for them in the morning, damn it.
Or that fucking dress up. Oh! So, how about this? I read it and I was like, what? They're going to go to space? Like, how long are they going to be there? And like, come on, these are, who is it? Gail, Oprah's lesbian lover, and Katy Perry?
It's her friend. It's her special friend.
Oh, yeah, her friend. And neither one of them have kids or whatever. But how long are they going to be there? Like, these are regular people. These aren't astronauts. How long are you going to keep civilians up there? Turns out all they're doing is like going up to where they float and then they're coming back down. Like, that's not an all-female crew in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been there. You all went to space. You're all chicks. But you're only up there for like, I think it's 3 minutes or 3.5 minutes. And then they're coming down. Like,
didn't that back in the 40s or the 50s, that TV show, The Honeymooners? Wasn't the husband always threatening to punch his wife's lights out and say, to the moon, Alice?
To the moon, Alice. Right in the kisser.
So here you
go.
Don't
tell me domestic violence isn't funny. But, I mean, I feel better sending those little chimpanzees into space. I feel like they'd be more useful. They could do more in space than those fucking broads. You're only going up there for 3.5 minutes. That's not going to space. I mean, technically, yeah. But that's like flying in an airport, flying somewhere, and you have a layover somewhere. You've been there.
But you haven't been there.
You haven't been there. You haven't left the building.
Yeah.
3.5 minutes. What?
It's like if you landed in Paris on a layover to Kazakhstan, you couldn't really say it was the vacation you're claiming.
I've been to Get Berry. And there is a very strong French representative in this movie tonight.
This movie sucks, Jericho. I apologize. We should have gone with the Steven Seagal shit. We can get to that next week. I wanted to keep it rolling. I was high, man. I was high on Roger Moore. He's a great Bond.
You're definitely
Live and Let Die was fantastic. I thought it was a worthy successor to Sean Connery. This movie, 20 minutes out the gate, I loved it. When they had the Bottoms Up Club and that Asian guy turned out to be a British spy, and the British people had that sunken boat, and that was really their base. Oh my God, this is great spy shit. Then it turns into a deranged comedy with idiotic kung fu shit. It took me 5 minutes of him ranting and raving to realize, oh, that's the same sheriff from Louisiana from the last movie.
That's right, you son of a bitch.
That's right, you son bitch. Gee, what the shit was this movie? We'll get to that. We'll get to it. But holy, this was bad. Now, I went and read about it on Wikipedia, and even Roger Moore said this was a low point for him. And this is one of the lowest grossing movies. And then the next one, The Spy Who Loved Me, great name. They say that's a great one. This was terrible. This movie.
This wasn't it. This was if the next one is a good one, this was eating your vegetables first. This was eating the broccoli or the peas first before you get to whatever you like on your plate. Because
right,
this was cockapoo.
Yeah.
Sorry to use that word.
But I thought it started off good though. The whole we're gonna meet so and so, and the concept is good. You have is it Christopher Lee, who played so many great roles for like 60 years as an actor. He was Dracula going back to like 50s and 60s for the Hammer horror franchise. He was, of course, Saruman in the Lord of the Rings. He was Count Dooku in Star Wars. He had a lot of big roles at the end of his life with the Star Wars prequels and the Lord of the Rings stuff. And his character, Scaramanga or something like that. I forget how. Scaramanga. It's a great concept. He's an insane assassin. He's a dead shot. He can't miss. And he wants to like face off with James Bond because he hears that's the only other man who's equal to him when it comes to hunting people down. But he's deranged and he tries to tell Bond, we're the same. We kill and we love it. And Bond is like, I only do it for good. And I only do it when my queen orders it and this and that. I don't enjoy killing and stuff. I'm nothing like you. And that's an interesting concept. The execution of this movie fucking sucks.
Gabe,
the concept is cool. But
Gabe, if that was your elevator pitch, I'm excited. I'm the producer. Yes, let's make that movie. Go. Here's a blank check. Sounds great. But that's not what we saw, is it?
No. What we saw is what I saw when I was 8 years old, and I was at Lindbergh Field. That's San Diego International Airport. And I went into the bathroom to pee, and all the urinals were being used, so I used a stall. And I looked into the stall, and it looked like someone's intestines had exploded with poo in there.
Yeah.
And I never forgot it. I never forgot it. That's what this movie looked like. It traumatized me as an 8-year-old. It was a disaster.
It looked like the inside of a porta potty after a chili festival.
Only the porta potty rolled down a hill.
Yeah, and you open the door, and it's a crime cut to bulb flashes from the CSI team because it's a fucking crime in there.
Bunch of people wearing white latex gloves. They got chalk.
Yeah, just putting
hey, get back. No cameras here. Get back.
Just putting the sheet down. Yeah, you hate to see it.
Yeah.
Hate to see it. So young.
No.
Yeah, it was awful.
Kids got a hold of a few cans of Hormel.
The rookies over there. Get him some Vicks.
He'll get used to it, Johnson.
Yeah. This movie was a crime to your eye sockets. It was. I feel like we're all part of a class action suit against United Artists Films for this movie. But as a kid, and I don't think I've ever seen this one. I don't think I've ever seen The Man with the Golden Gun, thankfully. But I feel like as a kid, it would have been cool because it's got more, sliding doors and compartments and gadgets and things with antennas and all that kind of shit. Again, not enough time with Q, with the gadgets. Put that down, WSF. I wanted more of that.
Right.
That room, like you mentioned, the ship was cool with the whole weird. And his what do you say? And he always has something quirky to say. Something, you're taking a new angle or something like that.
Right, because the whole ship, the British authorities that are James Bond's bosses, they've taken up residence in Victoria Harbor, which is near and dear to my heart. We'll get to that in a second. Victoria Harbor is the big harbor there in Hong Kong. Remember, it was under British rule for years. And there was a British ship, I don't know if it was military or a pleasure boat or a steamer, halfway sunk and all rusted. They show it early in the movie, and then later James Bond goes there, and the British guys, his bosses and all that, are there. And that's where they have their maps and all their secret meetings and communications. But the ship's at an angle half sunk. So he says, oh, I see you've taken a new angle, so.
Yeah, he has little smart remarks like that. And this movie is the king of, it looks like shit from the outside, but inside it's a high-tech fucking government,
right?
situation department. There's, radar screens, and when he goes to visit the guy, the gun specialist, it's like some shitty little shanty market, with 3 Chinese people eating noodles outside, and then he goes in and it's like this super high-tech gun manufacturing
right
shop.
Yeah.
So, but when you're a little boy, that shit is so cool. Underground secret looks like this, but it's really that, and all that kind of stuff. That's cool, but unfortunately, I'm not 8 years old anymore.
Right. Kara, Roger Moore.
Moore.
This is his second James Bond movie after Sean Connery did 6, I believe, to start this franchise. And Roger Moore ends up doing 7. So he did more than anyone else. I think Sean Connery did 5 or 6 total. But Roger Moore ends up doing 7 of these.
But even 2 that Sean Connery did, he shouldn't have. He's too old.
Yeah. There was that one Sean Connery did like in the middle of this or at the end of his run. It was like done in 1983. He comes back like 15 years later and does.
And he has like the Bride of Frankenstein.
Right, he has the gray
streaks on the side. Even for Sean Connery to do that, that was too much. I don't know if he just got a divorce.
Do you want to know a little Steven Seagal trivia about that movie?
Oh boy.
Sean Connery's final Bond movie from 1983. Steven Seagal like sprained severely or broke his wrist teaching him fighting moves for that movie.
Yeah, I heard about that. He's a dick. Steven Seagal is a dick. Every story you hear about him, it's either he's full of shit or he's an asshole. Like Michael John White, Joe Rogan shits on him. I'm like, man, who's the guy out there who's like, no, he's legit. I saw him. He's a great guy. He's my daughter's godfather. Like, where's that dude? Because I haven't seen it. Everybody shits on Steven Seagal. Oh man!
I went here and looked, and the first link that came up was a Reddit link. I don't like Reddit. I don't read it. But look what it says here. This made me laugh. Actually, this is our guy, Steven Seagal. Hold on, share screen.
Damn it, Steven.
I was looking for. Did he really? And it says, "Never again." 1983. In the movie, Never Say Never Again. Steven Seagal accidentally broke his wrist during rehearsal. The first comment there with purple because Seagal is an asshole and always has been.
Right? Damn. I mean, you break Sean Connery's wrist, you are an asshole. Let's be honest.
My goodness.
This man's a national damn treasure. Let's give a little slap.
Let me see if I could just play that. It's a 50 seconds long. I don't think the censorship thing will pick it up because it's like a clip from the Tonight Show or something.
Man, it was like under 30 seconds or some shit. You're good to go.
Yeah, we'll just see. I'll play like the last half of it. Hold on, I'll play the last half of it. Hold on. I got to bring up a different screen to do that. I wish there was a faster way to switch this stuff. Because I have to stop the screen, then I have to hit present, then share the other screen, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's share this. Okay. I'm sharing the last half of this, middle of the story about how his wrist got broken.
The principle is it's defense, so it's a pyramid, and I got a bit flash, and I did that, and he broke my wrist.
Wow.
And, and it was so well put together here, I still have it. Broken.
Is it still broken?
Yeah, that's 15 years ago.
And it's still broken?
Yeah, I just found out last year. It's okay doing that. It's doing this. That one.
So there you go. So he has a permanent wrist injury.
Oh no, fuck you, Steven Seagal. You hurt Sean Connery, man. That's
how dare you?
There should be some kind of you should need a pardon for doing that. You should be in trouble. It's not cool.
And can we talk about Tattoo from Fantasy Island?
They playing, boss. They playing. Yeah, he was extremely French.
I had such, what's crazy is the most famous big guy of all time and the tiniest most famous guy of all time are both French. Andre the Giant and Tattoo. Who's more famous for being huge than Andre the Giant? And who's more famous for being tiny than Tattoo or Knick Knack, as he was called in this movie? And they're both
Knick Knack.
They're both Frenchies.
His name's Knick Knack, Trinket.
That was his name. His name
ornament.
Was literally Knick Knack.
I know. It's so fucked up. My son comes in the room. He's like, "Mom, a midget." He thinks they're so cute. But yeah, this was the opening. Okay, the opening felt extremely Bond. It opens up on this ocean scene coming out of the water. I kind of thought it was Roger Moore for a split second, but you can tell it's not. The guy's a lot taller.
It's Christopher Lee.
But I mean, look at that. Look at the backdrop. You got the little storm coming in, the huge rocks, those famous giant rocks you see in Thailand and shit. Guys on the beach with a beautiful woman, they're chilling. Got a little tiny dude bringing them stuff on the beach, and then this. I was like, wait a minute. You guys could have told us about this.
First of all, Christopher Lee, not fat at all, but let's get some push-ups in, brother.
Dude.
Let's get some of that incline bench press. That's going to work most of the pec. 3 nipples on this guy.
Yep.
And this is not superfluous to this. This is not a throwaway. This is important to the plot of this movie that he has 3 nipples.
But it didn't have to be this.
No, it did. It could have been anything else.
It could have been a scar.
It could have been a watch. It could have been
a scar. It's a scar from the wall. Whatever. Okay. It could have been anything, but it's 3 nipples. And then they zoom in on it. So I thought, are they going to zoom into his chest and then the next thing pulling out and it's James Bond's chest? Like, what the fuck is this? No. 3 nipples.
I do think it's interesting that the right side of his chest is much hairier. Our left, his right. Do you see that? There's like
I don't know, maybe they probably had to shave his hair to put the fake nipple on there.
Well, then shave both sides.
No, we don't got time for that. We got
look, they put a few hairs on. They put a few hairs on the fake nipple.
That's where like the hair's growing away from the nipple. It's like, ew. The third nipple's gross hair.
So that's how this movie starts.
You know what I thought when I saw this dude? I was like, he's hot as hell. It's Thailand. This dude's in a black suit with a hat. He's hot as hell. Poor guy.
I don't know who this guy is, but he's got a great face for a criminal. He must have been in a ton of crime movies back in the old days. But he looks like a wise guy. He looks like a tough guy.
Yeah.
He looks like he definitely uses the word mooks unironically,
Yeah. He looks like a lot of his lines in those movies was, yeah, boss. And that was it. His agent's like, dude, I know there's small lines. I know that, but I got you 25 pictures lined up.
Right. Goes, and then sometimes he'll have a bigger line. It'll be, yeah, boss. Yeah.
All right, boss. All right. Look at that. He's like, look at who's been with you from your one line to yeah. Now I got you saying, yeah, boss. Yeah. Don't you ever turn on me. I've been with you from the beginning.
Yeah. There was another character in the movie, the guy who was the maintenance man of the like negative 400 degree
Reggie Jackson.
It looked just like Reggie Jackson, and they didn't give him one line of dialogue.
No, that's how bad he sucked in the fucking audition.
No, I know, like, from listening to so many actors and comedians do interviews and stuff in television. I don't know what the rules are, the union rules in movies, but in television, there's a thing called an under 5, and I don't know how old these rules are for their union. But if you're in a show and you have like under 5 lines, then all like your benefits and your royalties and like all of it's like I think negated or minimal or something like that. And I wonder if you're like the maintenance man at the end of this movie and you're in like 4 shots or 4 or 5 shots and you don't have a single line. Do they just give you like $1,000 and call it good? Like you don't even get to go to the movie premiere.
You can take this $1,000 or go to the movie premiere.
Right.
He's like, oh, I'll take the grand. I mean, even in the scene that he has with Goodnight, he could have been like, yeah, shut up, come here, quiet, something like that. But he's just like fucking mimed it up. He didn't say anything. He looked like a big ass Reggie Jackson. That was so funny.
Right. So Tattoo is the little guy in the black and the white there bringing the drinks and all that.
3'11".
Yeah, and he tells Christopher Lee, who's the main villain, the man with the golden gun, Scaramanga or whatever his name is, his last name. This guy's here to see you, but what Tattoo has been doing is hiring the world's best assassins to come to this island and try and kill his own boss, his own partner, Scaramanga, because this is what Scaramanga likes to do. He likes to face life or death, fighting off against other renowned assassins. It's some sick thing he has to prove to himself that he's the greatest. So they go into his base, and then I can't help but get this pervert vibe from Tattoo. Because he's always watching, he's these little peepers of his.
A little voyeur, little tiny voyeur.
Yeah, it's got this little peeper guy thing going on. And he's watching Christopher Lee and that guy in the black suit and the white tie go around through this hideout that is in these big limestone pillars. It's this like forest of islands off the coast there in China, and other places in Southeast Asia have it too. And they're very tall and they're very narrow, and there's little beaches on them sometimes. And so he has a whole labyrinth, a whole bad guy base inside here. And he goes through it, and it starts to get all psychedelic, right? Because this is 1974, something like that. There's weird laughing and bizarre psychedelic glow in the dark swirls and eyes and all this weird imagery, and then trap doors and the shooting gallery, and then robots with fake guns like cowboy robots and all this stuff to freak out the assassin as he goes through this bizarre nightmare maze. Like that stuff there just like appears and starts laughing at him. And the LSD was flowing when they made this movie.
Hardcore. That shit was cheap and good in Southeast Asia because they were doing it.
But yeah, it was really weird. And like he's facing off against mob boss robots, but they zoom in on this one and they never explain it. And this one, they're all like wax or plastic dudes, but this one, I'm certain that's a real guy.
Yeah, they're all real.
But they never like explain why these look so real, because they're supposed to be animatronic.
So why couldn't they just fucking get some wax robots or wax figurines and put in there so they look fake? It's okay that they look fake.
I guess for the budget, it's cheaper to just grab some jackets and hats and fake guns than to build robotic dudes.
Then don't zoom in on their face where we can tell they're clearly fucking dudes standing there. The one with Roger Moore. You can totally tell that's him with like makeup on his face to make him look like he's waxed, but he's fucking moving.
Right.
You look at him, he's fucking moving.
Guys, this is not Miss Marvel bad, but holy shit, this movie's bad. This is a terrible movie, you know. And I will say,
Madam Web.
It's not even bad enough to like laugh at, because I love a bad movie that you can just laugh your head off the whole time. This is joyless too. This is stupid. This movie, you know, this is just dumb. So he makes his way through, the assassin guy's shooting, blah, blah, blah. And he gets to this big room with mirrors up high and a slide, like staircase slide thing to go down. And in the middle, there's a crow or a raven, and it has his golden gun in its beak. And he snatches the gun before the assassin can get him, kills the assassin, then spins around and shoots at a James Bond statue that is clearly the real James Bond with makeup on his face.
He shoots his fingers off. That's how good he is. To show what a marksman he is, he just shoots the wax fingers off.
Shot his pecker off to show he was a better marksman.
Yeah, why his fingers? Shoot off the real weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and you can tell right there, even with the bad lighting, that's clearly really Roger Moore. When they do this far away shot, which was dumb, you can see Roger Moore moving. You know, you try to keep your hand still, but it still moves because it's, I don't know why the fuck we can't keep still. That's totally visible. Not sure why they even showed that. After he shoots his fingers off, you don't ever need to show him again. And as you can see, his fingers are back. So I don't know what the fuck happened.
Are you serious?
Yeah, his hands, his fingers, he had supposedly shot him off already, and they're back.
Oh my gosh.
Who edited this? Did anybody edit this?
Oh, Cocaine edited this movie, dude.
This shot is painfully 70s. Look at the shapes and the colors, his white shoes.
But this is not Three's Company late 70s, early 80s. This is late 60s, early 70s. The Summer of Love, Woodstock. This is that 70s, the very beginning.
70s is my least favorite. For cars, movies, TV, fashion, fucking the 70s are my least favorite.
All I hear when I see this movie is it's some drug addict classic rock. Down, 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 down. I don't.
Yeah.
Isn't that?
Yeah, and why is everybody? That's actually a prayer he misheard. It's a Catholic prayer, and he was so drunk that he said, "No, it's in God in the Vita," and then they fucking. That's how they recorded it, but he was so fucking drunk. But
magical. It's magical.
This shit right here, I just can't stand the 70s. And I can name you,
it's so ugly.
But I can name you 3 movies right now where they have the the maniacal laughter, weird visual shit. What is that? Oh, fuck you, 70s.
Think, as a nation and as a culture, the West was for the first time getting into like psychedelics and all that, because people have always taken drugs, I'm sure, going back thousands of years, drinking and drugs, but like as a mainstream subversive thing, it really kicks off in the 60s, and it's still there through the 70s. You know what I mean? And this is early 70s, right? This movie's like 74.
74,
right? And so that means they're producing and making it in 72 and 73. You know what I mean? So they're in the thick of that Summer of Love, 1967. Woodstock is what, 64, 65, something like that.
Woodstock 69.
Oh, 69. Geez. So they're right there, man. They're right there. Dropping acid on sugar cubes and all of it, dude.
But this, man, I don't know. What was the budget? Because I think the last one was what, $8 million? $8 million?
Yeah. This
has got to be like 57
right
million, just $57.
$57. So it has a trippy beginning, but it's acceptable. It's fine. The movie doesn't suck yet. It's very mysterious. Yeah. What's going on? Why is Tattoo and Saruman inviting an assassin to the island and then killing him, and then they shoot a statue of James Bond? It's unexplained. It's like almost near the third act when Scaramanga, that's Christopher Lee, the main villain in the blue tracksuit, like one of the Beastie Boys. It's almost in the third act when he explains to James Bond that you're just like me, and I've always wanted to face off against you in like some final, blaze of glory or whatever. And then you kind of put it together for sure, like, oh, that's what his problem is. So
the budget was $7 million, and the box office was 97.6. I feel like that was probably internationally, because they went very international in this movie. Hong Kong, Southeast Asia, London. Like they
Beirut were showing for a minute. They were in Beirut too, Lebanon.
Yeah, right? So I think they were showing the world, so the world would want to see this. James Bond is an international superstar. He's, British, the character, whatever. So he doesn't belong to America. I feel like this is probably where he got his most success, of course.
Right.
This is where everybody finds most of their success, if we're being honest. Nobody ever says, dude, I want to get big and go to Australia. No. So, yeah, $7 million. Mom, you don't understand, Dad. You don't like my rock music, but I'm telling you, one day I'm going to get big and I'm going to go to Australia and be a star. No one's ever said that. So I think that 97.6 was worldwide, and the budget, they took $1 million away. Last one was 8. This one was 7. Oh, my goodness. Put the cookie down. Jamie. He ruined the name.
We have to do Junior. I will overcome my revulsion to Junior. I will overcome it. All right. See, this is why I don't think it's good to drink or do drugs. I do neither. But if I could get through, I think, Junior, if I was a drinker, because I could just get slobber knockered and then just turn it on, and then then you wake up at 3 a.m. and there's a Girls Gone Wild commercial on TV.
Girls Gone Wild. I'll tell you this much, Gabe. If we don't get to Junior by the end of 2025, then I will pick the worst movie you've ever seen.
No. Well, I already saw Ms. Marvel, so.
Madam Web.
Oh, Madam Web. Sorry, my bad. Madam Web. It's all shit.
That movie.
All of that Marvel stuff is just slop. Like whatever, dude.
That movie was a knife to the asshole. But yeah, I'll pull out the big guns if we don't get that movie out of the way by the end of 2025.
Okay.
I got some bad ones, man. Some really, really bad movies.
I'm never against bad movies when they're funny, but
some of them aren't funny. They're
if you want to torture me, you bring me a bad movie that's boring,
Gotcha. Oh, and Live and Let Die, the famous crocodile. I think I sent it to you. The famous crocodile stunt scene. Basically, they took 5 crocodiles, I think it was, and they tied them up and submerged them so you couldn't see their body. So that's why when he ran, you saw them open their mouths as soon as he stepped on them to show that these are real crocodiles. But that's why they didn't spin around and bite his leg off, because they were tied up. So it shows the 5 takes. It took 5 takes to get the one they used for the movie, and it showed all 5 takes. And like out of I think 2 or 3 of them, he like fell in the water pretty close to where if they weren't tied up, that's it. That stuntman would have been literally.
When did you send me this? I never saw it.
I don't know if it was on Instagram or a text message.
You know what? I only check Instagram like once a week. I never look at it anymore. So
maybe that's what it was on. But it shows the 5 takes, and so but each one it looks cool because as he steps on them, of course they react, open their mouth.
Right.
Back then, there was no CGI, so that shit either was going to look horrible and some whatever special effects they had then, or they had to do some practical shit. Of course, people in the comments, I think it was Instagram, the poor crocodile, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're crocodiles. Don't give a shit. He's not hurting them. Those things are made out of armor. And he like ran across their backs. But even with them tied up, it was on Instagram. Even with them tied up, man, that still takes some large cojones to run across the backs of crocodiles. I mean,
I don't think I would do that. Well, it depends what the paycheck was, I suppose.
Well, it was equivalent to like almost $500,000 today. They paid him like 60-some thousand for that one stunt that day. So it would be almost $500,000 today. So $500,000, and they're tied up. They're not going to get you. In reality, they are not going to get you. But your mind is telling you, oh, they're going to fuck you up.
Right. So I changed, speaking of your mind, I was changing a light switch in my kitchen last week, and you turn off the power to your house, and then you take the copper wires off of your light switch, but you have to, at some point, grab the exposed copper and twist it on there and put the screwdriver, and everything in your brain is telling you not to touch the wires, even though you turn the power off. So that's what you're saying here. Like, yeah, these alligators or crocodiles, they're tied up, but your whole brain is like, no.
Look at now, they can't get him, but woo!
You better hope the dude that tied those up tied them correctly.
Dude, yeah, that's like having somebody else check your parachute. You better hope.
He got his shoe. He got his shoe. Look at,
dude. He earned that 60-some grand. Yeah, this is what they use in the movie. This one's cool. And I mean, because there's no other way to pull this off. There's no CGI that can do this.
Woo, boy.
Man, come on. And Roger Moore just comes in at the end of the scene, not even right after he's already on the side, running across like he did it. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
come on.
Roger Moore comes out the bushes and gets all the women, but the other guys only got bit by the damn crocodile.
Dude, his hand's shaking. He's sitting on the bumper of some stunt vehicle having a cigarette. Dude, like, almost died, man.
Yeah,
Jeez,
but
Louise.
you know that feeling when you know it's fine, but it doesn't, like, it must be how a bungee jumper feels, but it's like, and it wasn't that scary. I'm changing a fucking light switch in my kitchen, but your brain is just telling you, don't touch those wires.
Yeah,
not to touch those wires. Like, no, I have to touch them to change this. It's like, I turned off the power. And it's like, you sure you turned it off?
You sure? Go outside.
You turned off the main, right? You didn't just turn off one of the breakers. You turned off the whole house, right? Like, well, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I?
Damn it,
like, all right, go ahead and touch it.
Okay. No. You want to do it.
Go ahead and do it. You're the big man that knows everything.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Have you been electrocuted? Everyone has, right?
I've been shocked before. I remember plugging in a lamp as a kid, and that shit, it blew up to where the part that goes into the socket separated from the wire.
Oh.
So I don't know what the fuck happened there, but yeah, that was pretty scary.
I was fixing a water heater in the basement of my grandparents' house, and this water connection broke and just shooting water everywhere. The water sprinkles went up and hit a light bulb that was dangling from the ceiling, one of those ones hanging on a wire in the basement, and it blew up the bulb because the cold water hit the bulb. And I know it's hot. Like, oh, if you touch that, you're done. So you just have the end of the socket part going in, the screw part of the bulb, all the glass is broken. And I've seen you could cut a potato, stick the potato in there and turn it to get it out, is what I have seen. So I go to the breaker box and I flip the breakers for the basement, but I don't turn off the whole house. I'm standing in like 2 inches of water.
Perfect.
And I touch this thing and get thrown across the room, dude.
Fuck.
Thank God that this light was attached to the ceiling and not like something on the floor or shelf where I was. Because I was standing in water. And I thought so this is not safety advice. I'm not an electrician, but turn off the main breaker. Turn off the entire house.
Turn off the block.
Yeah,
everybody's losing power right now.
Those breakers might be mislabeled in a 110-year-old house. There might be some mislabeling going on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I got tossed, dude. Like, like, woo. Because I'm standing in water, so like you're the ultimate conductor, right?
Well, yeah, like perfect. Like, how can we electrocute somebody in the most efficient way possible? Well, so put them in 2 inches of water.
Bite down on it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I know about 2 inches of water. There you go.
That hurt. That did not feel good.
Hey, lesson learned, huh?
So yeah.
Lesson learned.
I was a young lad. I was only like 22 years old. So Learning these things for the first time. Okay, so after the psychedelic killing by Scaramanga and Knick-Knack, his little French midget friend.
Knick-Knack, come here, you little fucker. Come here, you little Knick-Knack. Get up here, you.
We cut to James Bond in his boss's office. Now, the boss is M, right?
Yeah, M is the boss. Q is the guy with all the knickknacks. Oh,
Ooh, look at Captain Kopati. Just mixed a whiskey sour, shaken, not stirred. I don't know what's in a whiskey sour. I would assume whiskey and something sour.
There you go.
What's in it? Oranges? Like an orange peel or something? Or
I don't even know. I know there's like a whiskey sour mix you can use. I'm not sure
whiskey
exactly.
Sour is a mix.
But it does have like it tastes like it's mixed with lemonade or some shit.
Okay. Whiskey sour is a mixed drink or shot containing whiskey, lemon juice, and sugar.
There you go. Lemonade.
There you go. Traditionally
Fucking
garnished
lemonade.
with a cherry or sometimes a lemon wedge. Sour, bitter, and sweet flavors and can be made as a shot, mixed drink, or a butt funnel. No, just it didn't say the last part.
Do not butt chug, guys.
You've heard of the butt chugging, right?
Dude, because your body absorbs the alcohol totally different. So you
right through the intestinal lining, right?
Yeah, it's a wrap. Like you're gonna.
I saw a news story,
yourself.
and rest in peace. A guy who was like an alcoholic, drank so much he had like a total like stomach and esophageal problem, so he couldn't drink anymore because he just had all this horrible. I don't know what would happen to him. He couldn't drink it down the throat into the stomach, so he butt chugged wine and stuff like that, and ended up dying.
No, sir. No, sir.
So yeah,
it's way too much. You're doing it all wrong.
I remember a news story like 20 years ago of like a college fraternity where a bunch of the brothers, I think they ended up in the hospital or something because they were butt chugging Franzia wine out of a box.
Oh man!
And I think the body's absorbing the alcohol too quickly, and they get like alcohol poisoning.
But not Franzia though. Like, drink Franzia, but if you're gonna butt chug, have more class.
Oh yeah, so if you're going to stick a rubber hose in your butt to consume alcohol, please do it with dignity, my man.
Have some class. Have some class. Come on, 007.
What is the classiest thing you can butt chug, Jericho?
Like maybe a nice Chardonnay or Cabernet Sauvignon. Something of that nature. Definitely not fucking 2-for-1 grocery store.
Not that Mad Dog. Is it Mad Dog 2020 or 4040?
No, 2020.
Yeah,
Mad Dizzle. Yeah, but I know Kamala Harris is like, don't talk shit about my wine. All right, relax.
Okay, she was real hood too. Yeah,
relax. Well, it depends.
Yeah,
or it depends on who she was in front of.
Yeah, she was mostly not black, but somehow like to do a racist impersonation of a black person. So
yeah, you know what's funny? She never said I'm black. She just let everybody else say it. It's like everybody else telling a story, like you got in a fight, and everybody's like, "Oh, he picked him up and he threw him and he punched him," and it didn't happen that way. But you're just sitting there letting them tell this overblown story of what happened. So she never said it, but she never stopped anybody from saying it. Right.
She's like, well, I never said I was black. Yeah.
Well, you never stopped anybody from saying that you were black, you skeezer.
So after that weirdo assassinates an assassin and his little midget friend tells him, good job shooting the statue of James Bond, we smash cut to the British intelligence. M is there telling James Bond, you're out of commission. I want your gun and your badge on my desk by the end of the day. But they're telling James Bond, the greatest assassin in the world, who probably killed 004, 009, or just some other dude. We think he just sent us this solid gold and nickel bullet with your number on it. This means he's after you, 007. So I'm taking you out of the rotation. Just go find a nice palm tree to sit under and drink something out of a pineapple for a while till we figure out who this guy is.
Chill.
Right. So, and then James Bond refuses. He's like, no, you will not take me out of this. I can hunt him down. I can find him. And they already know about this Scaramanga fellow, that he's this great assassin. He's paid $1 million per bullet. That's not what he pays for the bullets. That's how much he is paid to shoot people because he never misses. He's the man with the golden
he's that good.
Yeah. So
he's that good.
Right. So then we get more of him flirting with Q here, but in this one, she was kind of like telling him she was disappointed that he wasn't going after her, right?
Yeah, Miss Moneypenny.
Right, Moneypenny. Sorry, Q is the gizmo
gadgets guy. Yeah,
gadget guy. This is Moneypenny, and they're always got that sexual tension, but he never wants to cash in. I think in the alternate universe of James Bond, he fools around with like 900 ladies as a spy. Then he settles down with this one. This is the marrying kind, right?
Yeah, and they never like he never goes full. He never hits the gas, as far as going after her, and she never like seriously gives into it. I think if James Bond wants to get her, then he's gonna get her. Yeah. But there's a respect there, and I think rule number one is you don't shit where you eat.
I mustn't shit where I eat.
Yeah, I mustn't, darling, because that would mess everything up. If he slept with Miss Moneypenny, and of course it's that great tension that as a viewer, will they, won't they? They never do, but even you may even know that. But that's still a good little back and forth. And trust me, James Bond is not hurting for.
No, he's not lacking in the ladies.
He'll be all right. My wife, there's a girl in here where some things take place, and you would think that no self-respecting woman is going to go back to a man who treats her that way, but she does. And my wife's like, no way. I was like, he's James Bond. He's an international man of mystery.
Are you talking about wait in the closet while I have my way with this other one?
Yeah, when I blow this other chick's her lumbar out of alignment, and then later on, I'll do the same to you, and you fully
wait your fucking turn, lady. Jeez.
And he tells her,
like, I'll get to you.
Oh, just wait, darling. You have your turn, of course, right now. And it was for the mission, to be honest. You
do it the other chick. Country.
Yeah, it was for the mission. She needed him to take somebody out, and she even told him, "Hey, I'll give you whatever you want." She's like, "I'll even be part of the deal too if you want." Well, now you're speaking Mr. Bond's. Mr. Sir Bond. I don't know if he's been knighted or not, but he's Sir Bond. Now you're speaking Sir Bond's language.
Right.
And she's victim number one.
So we this other 00 Quattro that was killed by the man with the golden gun was gunned down in Beirut when he was with this beautiful, but in a funny way. Sometimes people are attractive, but they're also weird looking. There's a French word for it.
Like supermodels. Like those high fashion runway models look like emaciated giraffes, but they just have like this.
There's something about them that's pretty. Yeah. Hold on. Let me ask Grok, the super AI on Twitter. Hold on. Let me.
Hey, Grok. Grok.
There's a French term for when someone is so ugly or funny looking that they're actually pretty. Do you know what this is? Okay, Grok's going to tell me. Yes, in French, the term you're referring to is likely jolie laide, which translates to pretty ugly. It describes someone whose unconventionally or quirky features, perhaps an unusual nose, asymmetrical face, or striking oddity make them strangely attractive or charming, despite not fitting traditional beauty standards. So yes, you could be ugly pretty in Francais, and I say the belly dancer in Beirut is ugly pretty. She's weird looking, but it's like alluring.
But she has an athletic body. You can see her little hip bone thingies there. Like she's in shape. Her body.
It's called the ilium. It's the iliac crest.
Oh, well, there's other names for it too.
Yeah, you called it the cum gutter. I heard that last week.
Yeah. Well, I would have said dick root, but she's not a dude. But yeah, her body is very attractive, but her face, it's
no funny.
She's not ugly, but it should take you a minute to warm up to it.
James Bond goes here to see her to see if she knows who the Scaramanga fellow is, where he can be found, the assassin.
Yeah,
because he killed 00 Quattro when she was with him. And I think they were in flagranto dilettante. What is that? What is that word for in the middle of coitus? I don't know. What a way to go.
Mid-stroke.
Yeah. So she keeps the deformed golden bullet as a belly ring. So when he's
crazy.
So when he's in her room, he's trying to kiss her and do all this stuff. He's trying to steal it.
Yeah.
And some heavies break in that have had their eye on him. And he ends up somehow swallowing it right from her belly.
But it looks like in that picture, though, it looks like he just caught a whiff of her poon, and that thing the pH was off. He was like, "Oh, I think I left something in the oven. Good day.
I think I left something back in London.
I'll be headed to the airport now. Oh, good day, madam.
I think I left the kettle on."
You know how much English people are about our tea, darling. I'll hop on an 18-hour flight. I'll be on my way.
Yeah. So you get a stupid fight scene. Some of the
Didn't
fighting is
like it.
good. Some of it's like most of it's
Nah, didn't like it.
Yeah.
I did not like. Number one, I don't like James Bond struggling this much. It's James Bond, bing bang boom, we're out of here. His hair shouldn't even be out of place. Number two, I do not like that they bloodied him. They bloodied James Bond's lip. What? There's the part of what makes James Bond so successful over years and years and decades and generations is that he, to a certain level, he's untouchable. You're not going to fucking bloody James's lip, and you're not going to give him more than he can handle. I don't care if it's 3 dudes or 4 dudes. Like, that shit is what? No, he should have took those dudes out, no problem, said some slick shit to her, and then got all up in it. Come on, man. That shit was weak.
Yeah, but I do stand by my thing that she's funny looking but pretty. I don't know.
Yeah, she's cute.
Yeah, there's something about her.
She's like a young. She's like B. Arthur. B. Arthur was like that when she was younger, but as she got older, not so much. But yeah, I mean, but look at her. She's a belly dancer. Great body.
Yeah.
You know
what I think is hilarious? You ever see those videos like on Instagram or whatever of the husband and wife or the girlfriend and boyfriend, and they're at a Middle Eastern sort of restaurant, and there's a sexy belly dancer going crazy, and the husband or boyfriend is looking at the entertainment as you are supposed to do. And then they pan over to the girlfriend or the wife, and she is staring daggers.
She's like
growling. It's not nice to make your wife or girlfriend jealous. It is very fun and funny to make them jealous. It's not nice. But if you agree to go to a belly dancing restaurant, I would like to know what the hell you thought went on at belly dancing restaurants.
Yeah. Do you think they cover it up or something? Belly dancing.
I have no idea. But to see these people getting angry, I saw a hilarious one where like a guy, he's like, a fat guy in his 50s or 60s, and he's at a wedding and he's dancing with some cute chick in her 20s, and then you see the big ball and chain wife come running over and just smacking him and hitting him and pulling him away. So that's another one you don't want to do, fellas. Not wise. Jericho fell asleep.
No, I was thinking of something. I was going to say something, but I forgot.
All right, that's all right.
No, it's not. It's not all right.
Ah, you'll remember sooner or later.
Never fucking remember.
But okay, so he gets the golden deformed bullet off of her belly, makes his way out of Beirut, goes back to London town, meets with his bosses in the lab, and you see them doing some neat experiments on the other side of that.
Oh, I did remember.
All right, what is it?
So speaking of, a husband being with his wife and being in an uncomfortable situation with visuals, there's a movie called I Think I Love My Wife. Yeah, starring Chris Rock. Great movie. I love my wife. Well, you better. There's meaning. It's deeper than that. It's a very good movie. Funny, but great movie, great ending. You could say it's family focused because that's what ultimately saves the day. I'll leave it at that. But it is a great movie. But there's a scene where him and his wife go out with like 2 or 3 other couples. They're all married with kids. And then the waitress comes over and she's like some 20-something with big ass tits and a ton of cleavage. So he gets up and goes over to the manager and says, "Hey man," he slips him like a 20 and says, "Look, you got to get us." He looks over and points out some old lady or something. He's like, "She'll be perfect." He's like, "But you can't have these fucking village feeders over here at my table, man." He's like, "You're gonna fuck my whole night up." But it's funny, Chris Rock. So the exchange is hilarious. But it's that same kind of thing where you got like double D's right here. Like, what are you doing, man? You can't. No, even if you didn't look at him, that's gonna make it worse somehow.
Oh, because you're gonna have like this stiff neck. Like, no, I was just staring at the spoons. Why?
Then your wife's gonna be like, "Go ahead and look at him." Like, you're fucked either way. Get out of here.
Living in California, and especially for myself, living in Southern California, especially living in San Diego with the nicest weather in America, we've had 70-degree weather for weeks now. I go to the beach. I was just at the beach a week and a half ago, and it's just butt city at the beach. I mean, the women, they're wearing a shoestring, and you go with your wife, your girlfriend, and you try whatever. You trying not to look in this, that, but just your like your animal, like, instinctual part. You're just like your head will just turn sometimes, like, oh man. But you don't want to. You don't want to be disrespectful. And to my wife's credit, she's very tolerant. She's like, yeah, that's how it is nowadays. That's just how they dress. Like, whatever, dude. And I remember being in Cabo with my wife. We went on a cruise down the Mexican Riviera.
Gabe, I don't believe that Adrian said whatever, dude. It doesn't sound.
She's like, bro. It's like, bro, whatever, bro.
Whatever, dude.
No, yeah. But I'm saying, like, I'm not the kind, like, you're in trouble. You're on the couch. Like, I'm like, fucking, I'm not sleeping on the couch. That's never happened.
Sleep on a fucking couch.
But like, she's not that way. She's not gonna do stuff like that to me. Because here's the thing: when you're taller than your wife, just look over her head. She'll never catch
you. Yeah, just kind of hold her head down. Like, don't look.
You know what? Take my wife off, but it's just like in a funny way. I explained to her this thing about guys that she didn't know. That if you're watching now, Jared, every guy in the chat knows this. And I don't know if women know this because I don't think women do this. You're walking down the street, babe, hot chick, whatever's your type, your big butt, big boob, whatever it is. You see something, you're like, damn. And you're looking at her and you feel someone looking at you and you look and it's another guy and he gives you the nod like, yeah. Guys always give each other the big like, yeah, dude. And then you both kind of laugh and keep walking your separate ways.
And that kind of camaraderie crosses all boundaries, all differences.
Race, religion, politics, whatever. It doesn't matter. Every guy, this happens to you, not constantly, but it does happen. See, here's my wife in the chat. Whatever, dude, bro, whatever, dude.
Yeah, that's the Adrian I know. Very Brody.
But you do get you. What's funnier is not you getting caught by the other guy, but you catching the other guy.
Yeah,
they give you that sheepish look, like, yeah, you got me.
You were just looking longer than me. I caught you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just, and that's the beauty of it. No matter where you are, who you are, we all men. I could be visiting another country. I don't even speak your language. I don't even know your customs.
Right.
I don't know anything, but we know that, and we'll bond over that. That could turn into a beer.
I made her feel better, though. I made her feel better. I said, hey, don't feel bad. Guys have done that to each other about you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
One guy was looking at you, and I wasn't around because they knew better than do when I was around. And then the other guy looked up, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember I was in Cabo with my wife. And there was this girl, and she might as well not had pants on. It was ass city. And my wife didn't say anything, didn't give me a look, didn't nothing, but you couldn't not notice at the beach. I literally just turned around and just like, I'm going to look at the boats and shit over there. Not because I'm a wimp, not because I didn't want trouble or anything, but it just felt so wrong. Like it was beyond like a bathing suit. It was like, what are we doing? It's like an X-rated movie now. Like, what is going on? So I just turned around because like, there's no way you're going to face this way for an hour and not like, you're going to look because that's just like, you don't even think, it just happens. They're like, oh, it's like when someone has a really ugly, crooked tooth or they got a big mole. You're like, don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Holy moly.
Don't look at it. Don't look at it. And you just keep looking at it and they know you're looking at it.
I'm a mouth watcher too when people talk.
Oh.
So yeah, if you got like a jacked up grill or something like that, I can't help it. I'm just like, oh boy. Oh boy.
I hate that though. When someone has something bad on their face and you don't want to be mean and you keep looking at it.
You know what? There's a Tide commercial from, I want to say it was in the early 2000s, just the golden age of commercials.
Right. And it was still funny.
Yeah, like the last hoorah of commercials. I think 80s and 90s were the golden age, but the early 2000s up to like 2007 was like the last gasp for stuff like that. That's when you had like the Real Men of Genius commercials. Fucking love those commercials. But they had an ad. Damn it, I lost my damn train of thought. What was I talking about?
We were talking about staring at people's like moles or crooked.
Oh yeah, so there's a Tide commercial, right? There's a Tide commercial, and the guy is at an interview, and the point of the commercial is your stains are going to attract everybody's attention. Nobody's going to be able to concentrate on what you're doing because of stains in your shirt. So you need time to get the stains out. So, but the guy's like a mustard stain, and the guy's interviewing him, but the guy can't help but look at the mustard stain, and the mustard stain is a mouth, and it's going blah 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 blah. He can't even hear what the guy's saying because the stain is so distracting, man. funniest shit ever.
Yeah.
Another thing, I wanted to put this out there for Datitude. You mentioned sleeping on the couch. We could probably do a whole episode on sleeping on the couch, what it means to sleep on the couch, what kind of man does sleep on the couch.
A worm.
That's a pet peeve of mine. I've been
Right.
married to my wife going on 16 years, and the only time I've ever slept on the couch is because I fell asleep on the couch.
Right. Watching
My wife's never thrown a pillow and a blanket at me angrily. I've never grabbed a pillow
What kind
and a
of
blanket
pussy would you have to
angrily.
be to buy a house and pay the fucking mortgage, and anyone on your roof is going to tell you where you're sleeping?
Hey, I am
You're out of your
willing.
damn mind if you think that's going to happen.
Not only am I the financier, but I have taken a solemn oath to myself and the Lord, and I am willing to grab a firearm and kill somebody if they come in this house uninvited. I am not sleeping on the couch.
Right. I'm not being told I'm in trouble. I'm a man
What?
in my 40s. I own a fucking business. I'm not in trouble with anyone.
I'm
Okay.
not sleeping, man. So let's put that on the back burner.
I love this.
Yeah, I can't.
It says, why is dentistry important? Because even though he's missing an eyebrow, the first thing you notice is his smile.
Hell yeah. I didn't even notice his eyebrow.
Right. You don't see it at first. He's like, damn, this poor guy's tooth.
Guy's toothless is missing.
Right.
Oh man, but I gotta find that commercial. If it's under 30 seconds, I'm gonna play it.
I've seen it. I know the one you're talking about with the mustard says just go,
But it's so loud, the guy can't even hear what he's saying. Hilarious. And the I gotta find a Real Man of Genius. Real Man of Genius.
Real
clip.
man of genius.
Probably one of the funniest commercials.
Is
Whoever
to
came up
you.
with that.
Yeah.
Here's you, Mr. Rolling Cooler Roller. Oh man, so funny.
Hold on.
And the guy who
Kara
invented
has
the bra.
Kara has a public notice for everyone. If you need dental work, do not go to Aspen Dental. Today's show is brought to you by Aspen Dental.
Oops.
Get your
You need
teeth
to do-
worked on here. See if we care. No.
Hey, you need a new tooth? We'll tell you the truth at Aspen Dental.
Oh, look at this. Tony's going back 26 years. What?
What that? That's like 25 years ago.
That was like 98, 99. Yeah, that's
Dude,
freaking
Budweiser
wild.
has some of the best commercials because Bud Light, I think, is Real Men of Genius. Then you got, was that Budweiser too?
I think
I'm
so.
not
yeah.
sure, but it might have been. But and also they had, remember, Bud, Wise.
Yeah, the
Err.
frogs. I want them to tell me what a sexist bigot I am. That's what I want Budweiser to do.
Yeah. Hey, keep
good way
putting
to sell
piss water
stuff.
in a can and shut up, all right?
Right.
Sponsor sporting events and shut up. And I'll give you my money. Simple as that.
Right.
Why do they got to complicate it? No, we're going to hand out soda cans. We're going to hand out custom soda cans to influencers because nobody buys more beer than people who are fans of influencers, right? Not the generations of 40 and 50 somethings who will buy their shit until they die. No. Let's focus on teeny boppers who still have acne problems and the people that they scroll to. Let's do that. You fucking idiots.
I don't know.
Idiots.
I mean, I don't drink, and you shouldn't drink beer either way because it is estrogenic. If you're a dude, that stuff is killing your testosterone and pumping you with estrogen. All beer, it doesn't matter. Beer is not good for you. Just
Well,
alcohol is not good for you. But if you want to drink, bottoms up, as they say.
But if you're in the beer business, how about you target the audience that's going to drink your beer?
I don't know.
Jeez Louise.
Targeting your own audience to make money. This, Jericho, I should write this down. This is a revolutionary idea. Wait a minute. Hold on. So if I got products I want to sell, I shouldn't tell the audience that I'm morally superior to them and that they're all racist, Nazi, homophobe scumbags?
I mean, it's okay to have a finger, but try not to wag it.
What if I want to admonish them, though, and I just want to scold them and tell them how I am morally superior and perfect, and I'm right about everything, and they are evil people who need to change their ways and be open and tolerant to everything?
Well, keeping it anatomic, if you will, it's okay to have a nose. Just try not to look down it. If you know what I mean.
But what if I wanted them to brainwash kids, and if they disagreed and said it was none of my business what they as parents told their kids, and I should stay the fuck out of it, and this kind of stuff was inappropriate to tell kids, and then I thought that made them a racist, Nazi, homophobe, bigot, Doesn't that make me better than them?
Well, I can see what you mean. I can say you might think that way, but
Right.
if you're in the business of
I
making
think that way.
but if you're in the business of making cash,
Oh,
like if you want the numbers in your bank account to keep going up, then you might want to all the things you said, and they're valid, and I hear you, and like I
feel
validate your
seen.
feelings.
I can feel seen and heard, and
but keep those feelings inside
But
of your
hold on,
skull.
Jericho. If I tell everyone they're a racist, bigot, homophobe, transphobe,
Mhm.
illegal immigrantophobe, won't they realize how wonderful I am? And then like, oh, we should buy all this stuff because he's the perfect man, and we're
Mhm.
all peasant scum who need to learn from our evil ways. Isn't that why they'll buy everything from me, though? It's working for Disney.
No. I get it, and that's your belief, and that's great. But if you can't tell everybody that if you want to make money, if you're done making money, if you're like, we have enough, I don't want to make any more cash,
Right.
then you can hit them with the finger wagging and I'm morally superior and trans. And if you don't date trans women,
Right.
all that stuff, that's fine, but they won't give you their money, is what I'm saying.
But what if they say things and think things that I disagree with? Doesn't that make them evil and racist?
Maybe so.
Most likely.
If you tell them that, they won't give you their money.
But can you think of another reason anyone would disagree with me? I'm college educated and liberal, so I'm right about everything. So if you disagree with me, you have to be like evil and stupid, right? You can't actually be right and maybe I'm wrong about something. It's actually because you're evil and wrong, right?
And again, I hear your points and I feel you, and they're valid. But yes, most people, I'm just saying most people, playing devil's advocate, most people think it's okay to disagree with other people in a respectful manner. So that way, hear me out.
No. Well,
maybe if you
this sounds racist, Jericho, just so you know that this feels very racist.
Remember, devil's advocate. Devil.
Okay.
So maybe
this sounds a little homophobic too, while we're at it, and misogynistic, by the way.
Thank you for, and I respect your feelings.
This actually just feels like an attack on the people of the First Nations, just to be honest.
Really, I didn't even mention them. But if you do that maybe in a respectful manner, so that way you can get it out, but still maybe get some of their cash.
But aren't they respecting them more by letting them know how I'm right about everything and sharing my superior knowledge with them?
I can, like, if you listen closely, you can hear the dollars screeching coming to a halt. If you do that. So maybe just keep it, the parties you go to, with all the politicians and the people you're giving money to and influence and the deep state and all that stuff, maybe just tell them about it at the parties. Maybe you could laugh at the poor people. You can laugh at them. You can say that they're stupid. You're morally superior. Get it out of your system.
Yes.
And then when you get back to headquarters, hey, little guy, hey, you're awesome. Maybe, tousle their hair, cut a few ribbons, open, some community centers for them or something, and then you'll still get their cash because we're in business, right? We're in business, so we want money.
Okay. I think that's really funny that you made that argument just to make fun of it, though. That's pretty cool that you're able to do that. So I do feel bad that we forgot to do the land acknowledgement before we started talking.
That is because I know I'm sitting on land that I should be.
And scene.
Thank you. But you never see them giving their stuff back. None of the property, they never give it back. But they want you to.
No, I love all the big talkers who have no skin in the game. That's great. That's a great side of maturity and insight.
Yeah. Remember Selena Gomez? I don't know what to do. Give them your money.
Bitch. You can let them move in there.
I know. Hey, teacher, calling me. I know what you can do.
I guarantee you,
give me your money.
It's Southern California, so more than likely her gardeners are illegals. And I guarantee you she won't let them use the shitter, even if they have to go.
Gross. Like, oh,
no, don't come in my house.
You two tiendes, don't caca in my bathroom. Gross. I don't know what to do. Give them money.
The Ragu Overlord. There's a saying by Sun Tzu, and it says, if you wait by the river long enough, you'll see the bodies of your enemies float by. They are in panic mode right now due to the tariffs on Canada, which will affect Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and Image Comics. it's really going to hurt their bottom line because comics are on a razor thin margin. No, they mostly lose money for Disney and Warner Brothers. I guess they chalk it up to research. They write it off, but they're going to lose even more when their printing costs go up. Unlike Big Man Comics, printed in the United States of America, I spend more money to make my comics just so I can say they're made here. You understand?
You piece of
You understand?
shit.
That's how I do it. I could get my shit printed in Hong Kong. I can get my shit printed up in Canada at Quebecor. That's the main one for DC Comics and all them. I know because I get packages from Quebecor because I still get copies of books that I worked on. I got a nice royalty check from DC Comics last week too. Thanks, guys. It's always awesome to hear from you every quarter. Keep it coming.
Fuckers.
Yep. In all those contracts we signed, it's 9 years after my death. You have to keep paying my widow. So keep it up. I plan on, and by the way, Warner Brothers, I plan on living a very long time.
I hope Adrian didn't just go, damn it.
So keep paying me every quarter. Keep paying.
Adrian go, damn it, from the other room. That's messed up, Adrian. I heard that. But you know what? One of the reasons that he's doing it is because of the drug flow. It's not just economic reasons. We're still getting tons of fentanyl. They're killing Americans, and that's not good. So,
yeah,
get him.
It's kind of
get him. Go on, get.
I love it. And what's hilarious to me is just to make up a number, but I know I'm close, like 70 or 80 or whatever % of Canada's exports
80
go here. And same for Mexico. Most of the stuff that Mexico exports is not going to England or China or Mozambique. It's going to the USA. So if they want to get in a trade war with us, I'm no fancy big city economist, but I understand if we tariff the shit they try and send here, we don't need their crap. We can just buy our own stuff here, buy it from other countries, make it here.
That's the whole point.
Their economies go poof. What's hilarious to me with Trump, the last 8, 9, 10 years of him being in the political public eye, is people try to fuck with him and they don't have the leverage and they get their ass handed to them every time and they don't learn. They don't learn. It's amazing to watch.
And they're lucky. Canada and Mexico are lucky that they're next door to the biggest purchaser in the world. Think if they were next door to anybody else,
right? That
wouldn't even be the case. Luckily, they're right next door to us, so we buy most of their shit. But and another thing, the reciprocal, is that what they call them? Reciprocal tariffs?
Yeah.
What other countries, the other countries, the tariffs they put on us?
Oh my God, I saw Canadian tariffs they've had for years, like 275% on like milk, 150% on this, like just blowing our stuff out of the water. And our idiot politicians just put up with this for decades.
Dude.
I was telling my wife tonight, I wish there was a town hall I could go to and Trump was there and he would take questions from the audience, because I would ask him, after everything revealed by Doge and all of this tariff ship and all the US aid and all this, why should I or anyone else here ever pay taxes again? You guys have been stealing from us and wasting. We should have golden paved roads in this country, the amount of money they've wasted. We should have free healthcare, free college, free fucking everything. The amount of wealth that is in this country that's been extracted and sent to these nonsense NGOs. And by the way, it has to be illegal. I don't know that it is, but it confounds me that something is called a non-government organization and all their money comes from the government. That's like a vegetarian steak. Like, what are we doing? Non-government, but the money's from the government. So these are just government agencies that skirt the law because they say they're non-government.
For years. For years.
For decades, not
years and years and years. They were paying a contractor that he finished the job 20 years ago. The price that the government pays for some cheap item, they'll pay hundreds of dollars for it. All that shit because it's somebody else's money. It's not even real to them. It's not even real. How many times have you heard the word billions when it comes to national or federal spending? Like that word doesn't even hurt anymore. In this movie, Q, I think it's in scene right here. He says, "Oh," they talk about somebody. He goes, "Oh, he's a multimillionaire." Like our minds at that time was, "Fuck, he's a multimillionaire." Fuck, a multimillionaire now. That ain't shit. We throw the word billionaire around like it's nothing.
No, billionaire is the new millionaire, like for the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, it doesn't mean shit anymore because of these fuckers,
dude,
wasting trillions of dollars. That word's not going to mean shit.
Where I live, normal suburbia, I live 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom homes, over $1 million. It's San Diego. It's the most expensive city in America, but you have $1 million asset, and it's a freaking 1,200 square foot home. It's $1 million. You know, like $1 million is like nothing now. If you're a normal husband and wife, and you want to buy a house in San Diego, it's $1 million for a regular house in a regular neighborhood.
That used to mean something. $1 million home used to be like, oh shit.
Wow, he's got $1 million home. And it's like, 3-bedroom, 2
like
bath.
you're a millionaire, you're shitting in a gold toilet. Now
No.
It's like, why can't a man go to work? And this wasn't too long ago. Our parents were able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't a man go to work and have his wife stay at home without a care in the world? You're not stressing over nothing. Maybe you got a little extra to take the family on vacation at the end of the year. Why is that so out of reach?
To play devil's advocate, the feminist movement of women working and running the house and raising kids and then still having enough energy to get sexy for their husband and have a good life, it's made them nothing but happy. Don't you know all the feminists and liberal women, they're all just constantly in a euphoric state of joy, right? They're not miserable, right? They love women. If there's anything women love, it's working just like men.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they love. That's how their brains work. They're just like us. There's no difference. They love working 50, 60, 70 hours a week.
And they're just as strong as we are. They're just as strong as we are. They're a lot smaller. I will admit they're a lot smaller, but they're just as strong as we are. And don't forget, you said women. Let me get a little bit more niche with it if I can. Mothers. You know what a mother loves to do?
Oh.
A mother loves. Now we think, no, moms, they want to be with their children and the husband and vacation. No. Here's what a mom loves to do. And if I could put like 12 L's in love, they love to do this. Right. What a mother loves to do is early in the morning, get up, drop her kids off with somebody else, go to work all day.
Somebody else loves them just as much as the mom and has all kinds of time to have one-on-one with the kid, nurture the kid, right? And love it and hug it and get hurt. And it doesn't have like 20 kids for every...
No. What? No. They love to do this. They love to drop them off with somebody else, and then they like to go to work all day. And then when they at the end of the work day, they go to pick the kid up, and then they hear the other person tell them all the great shit that their kid did. Oh, he walked first step. They like to hear this secondhand, and then they like to go home and spend like 3 hours with their kid and put him to sleep.
That's what why you have kids, so you can send them to a stranger who does not and never will feel the way you do about them, right?
Gabe, awesome. Now you get it, Gabe. Now you get it.
It's awesome. Well, no, because serving your husband is slavery, but serving your boss so his wife can stay home, that's freedom.
No, you demand equality from your husband. All right, you be a raging bitch, you withhold sex, whatever you have to do. And
sex is a weapon. Sex is a weapon.
It's of course it is. And if you don't know that, ladies, you're done. And what you want to do is now with the advent of social media, you want to prop your phone up and then talk shit about your husband in this house that has an echo in it, and it's the middle of the day, and you're standing there folding laundry, and he's out probably trying to wrestle some fucking hose to suck liquid gold out of the earth. But never mind, all right? Never mind that. Get online and talk shit about him behind his back.
It's a great idea.
Do it, ladies, right now.
Yeah. It's what's needed.
Doy. Doy.
And yeah, I saw some video, someone compiled of little kids crying, being dropped off or picked up from daycare. Mm-hmm. Heartbreaking, dude.
Oh,
thank God. Thank God. My wife, until the kids got older, just like worked at part-time or worked at home. And we never put our kids in daycare. They were always with her, or they were always at the elementary school or whatever. But, we picked them up from school every day, and we just really blessed that way that we were always right there with them. We didn't have a third party. And for those of you listening that do that, I'm not trying to guilt you. Sometimes that's the situation you're in.
My wife ran a daycare.
Yeah.
I've seen it from both ends. Our kids never went to daycare, not an hour in their life, but we've seen that. And what's really cool is what's an extra little twist of the knife into a mother's spinal cord is when you see your kids get upset that they're leaving another woman's house and they don't want to come with you because they're spending more time with the other lady. So when you're literally pulling your crying child from the arms of another woman, enjoy that little mind fuck, moms.
Yeah. That is not good.
Hey, workforce, huh? Workforce.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's
Mhm.
great.
Mhm.
And remember, the people that funded the feminist movement, women's suffrage, all that stuff were guys
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Carnegie and all those rich
Oh,
industrialists who are like,
you said it.
if we get the women in the workforce, we can slash wages by half because now there's more supply for workers. It was a dirty trick to subvert the American family, and it worked.
Executed to perfection.
Yeah. Because
But
women are, I hate to say, easily deceived. They kind of are.
Gabe, if you're going to bring the Carnegies and such out on stage to take credit for this play that we're all living through now, then you also got to bring out the federal government.
Yeah.
You got to bring them out. This is an inside job. They had help. So federal government, come on out. State government, you come on out too.
Yep.
Everybody, big business. You guys all join hands and all at once. 1, 2, 3.
There you go. Yeah, and
Thank
if you're
you very
wondering,
much.
every single thing they do socially is engineered to destroy the father's authority
Mhm.
and then take the kids away from the parents all day so they don't get cultured by their father and mother. They get cultured by the rainbow flag waving teacher and all the fucking weirdos at the school, and that ends up being their culture. And when you tell kids their heritage and their father and their father's father and their cultural patrimony isn't real, and if it is real, it's awful and should be eradicated. When you tell someone they don't have a past or an identity, that they are a part of a long line of, you can now turn them into anything you want. And that's a big tenet of communism, is to destroy religion and to destroy heritage. Think about it. During all the BLM riots, one of the main things they like to do is destroy monuments, tear down statues, all this stuff, erase history. Think about Joseph Stalin. Think about Mao in China. He said getting rid of the 4 olds.
The Taliban.
The Taliban destroying all those statues.
Mhm.
Heritage is everything because it's how you know what to live up to. Because when you look at your heritage, you're like, oh, this was all done for me. Some good, some bad, but hey, it was done for me. A lot of it is amazing that was done for me. I will live up to the standard and I'll improve on it. That's what the heritage is for men, you know. Like, oh wow, my fathers did this for me. Let me keep it going. Let me keep the fire alive. That's my honorable thing to do. So, but yeah, let's erase that past.
Yeah,
And then let's
past schmast.
and women are not supposed to work like men. Like we're donkeys when it comes to work. We can go into a coal mine, as miserable it is, and be there for 10, 12 hours. And we hate it, but we feel good about it because, like, hey, I'm a man. I'm supposed to be working and getting shit done. You know what I mean? I work regularly 60 hours a week, and I'm drawing for a living. I'm not fooling myself that I'm doing something like coal mining, but I have done construction. I've worked in factories. I've driven trucks. I did a lot of blue-collar jobs, really hard, grueling stuff. You get injured, you get tired, and I'm proud of it, you know, and I was happy to do it, you know, so
Take
yeah,
that.
look at Heather here. Look how sad this is. See, she agrees. Poor Heather. No way I was dropping. Oh, she's speaking hypothetical. No way I was dropping off the most important thing in my life off to somebody that doesn't give a shit. She was with my mom and dad on. That's awesome. And that's one of the great advantages where families should stay together geographically. So you got grandma and grandpa and all that stuff nearby. I never went to daycare, preschool, nothing, because I was with my grandparents all the time, you know, when my parents were working or in school. So yeah.
Yeah, luckily, same for my kids. Either they were with us or my wife.
Who's going to treat your kids better than grandparents? I mean, really?
Yeah.
You know?
Mom and dad or grandma. That was it. That's all our kids are with now. You know, they're in school and everything, but I'm glad that we were able to do that. No daycare. And I feel bad for people who have to do that. You know,
it sucks and it breaks their heart. You know, it does.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it does. It's sad. These poor little kids. And there's nothing more precious than children. You think of these little kids. Their mommy's dropping them off. They're screaming. They're crying. And then they distract themselves and calm down and start playing with the big Lego Duplo blocks or whatever. But it's still there. It's still there, that stuff in their head, the neglect, the abandonment. And it's not even intentional by the parents. The way the economy is fucked up now for the last 40-ish, 50 years, they're forced into it, women. Like women, I believe this. They should be allowed to work if they want to, but they have to now. You know, they have to. So that's not good. Like, how are we the best, most successful, richest country in the world, and they have to? Because it's not like being a mother to children isn't kind of really, really important. It's very important.
The most.
Someone needs to tend the house. Someone needs to make the food and clean and sew clothes and all. Like, you just want to microwave shit every night and eat unhealthy garbage. Like, being a mother and being a homemaker, that's a place of honor. And the feminist movement and the leftists, they denigrate it. It's low. It's stupid. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me, dude?
No,
I'm
I'd rather be
insulted.
traveling. I want to travel and like take selfie with cool little coffee drinks and like shit drawn in the foam on top and croissants.
I'll draw on
Those
your
little,
phone.
those cool little fucking little first class pods. I'm flying to Dubai. This
Okay,
is
that looks
fucking
good. The first class
awesome.
pod. I want to do the
But you
first
can do
class.
that with your kids. Kids are
Right.
not a fucking death sentence to your fun. You just make room for them. You don't understand when you have kids. Your mindset changes. You're
I
not
wish
still
there
in the
was a ray
mindset of
gun.
a fucking young single person. You're the
These
mindset
childless
of a parent.
weirdos, these childless weirdos, they choose to be childless and all this into their 30s, 40s, whatever. And it's honestly, in my opinion, it's selfishness. If you could hit them with a ray gun,
Dinks.
and the ray gun could make them feel what it was like to have kids for just 30 seconds, they'd change their mind instantly. To feel the joy of a little kid, like my granddaughter, she's just over 2. And she said to me twice now in the last like month, I love you, like that, like after I've said it to her so many times, she finally said it. And like, if you could just bottle that feeling and give it to these people that just want to whore around and travel the world, never get married, never have a family, they would run to the chapel and get married and have kids.
Yeah. Yep.
Like they don't know. You don't know until you know. Like you don't know until you do it. But when you do it, you're like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, this is the meaning of life, of course.
Yeah. Dude, hanging out with your kids, like, whatever, having dinner, watching a movie together, fucking going to do stuff, man. Those moments are awesome, man. And I just I don't believe women who say that they don't want kids. I just don't.
They just don't know any better. They've been brainwashed. It's terrible.
I don't believe it.
Without women, we wouldn't have any cookies. Norm McDonald.
Yeah. Without women, I don't have any cookies. Norm, R.I.P.
One of the greatest of all time.
Yeah. Norman's the best. From Canada, eh?
Yeah.
From America's foreskin. Thank you.
Right.
Probably the only good thing they've given us.
Right. Yeah. Some great Canadian comedians that have gone on to the great beyond. John Candy.
The great moose lodge in the sky.
Right. Just great comedians in general that are dead and gone.
Jim Carrey, John Candy.
Yeah. Rick Moranis, the whole SCTV crew, all of those SCTV.
Yeah, all those guys. Canada got some funny people. Mike Myers, Wayne's World and all that. Got some funny people.
Yeah. But
your politics are stupid.
They got a funny governor up there too. I love that Trump just keeps calling him Governor Trudeau.
Yeah, but not funny, but like, funny. Hey, he's that kind of funny. And if they voted him out, how is he still there?
He resigned, but I think it's like he finishes his term, or they have other countries confuse me because they just have random elections. We have ours every 4 years, like you set your watch to it. Other countries are like Justin Trudeau calls for a snap election. Like you can do that. You just call a new election.
And if you've got so much time left, then wait to announce your resignation. Why are you pulling the cord so early?
I wish he would have announced his resignation in blackface. Stick to your guns, Justin.
He's all, finally, man, fuck this. I can be who I want to be.
I can finally be who I really am. Be my true self.
Yeah, it's all like, I love Al Jolson. He's fucking awesome. He was a genius. And that's why I
come out saying mammy and stuff like that.
Mammy. He's like, oh, this is awesome. Let my hair down.
Ah.
Do it, you little
him and C. Thomas Howell, that guy.
Yeah, he's like, and Fidel Castro was my father. Oh, the weight's lifted. He was my dad, and I loved him.
Who do you think taught me how to apply the shoe polish? And then you see a picture of Castro in the fucking shoe polish face.
They're in the mirror together, a little fucking shaving moment, but it's blackface. His wife's like, I got sick of pegging him. I'm tired of the kids. I got to peg this fool 5 days a week. I couldn't stand it. That's his wife. Because he got divorced.
He got divorced so he could be free.
So he could be free and just have all the ding dong you wanted in his house. He just sent out a text. She's gone. I don't know how you write that.
The Wicked Witch is dead.
With just a little gif of her feet under the house.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. And I'm ding dong.
All capital on the ding dong.
That's capital D-I-N-G, capital D-O-N-G.
I'll bring the ding, you bring the dong. Fucking disgusting little fucker, right?
I like those pictures of him sitting all with his legs crossed all
Dude,
tight.
Don't sit like that. If you like vagina, you don't sit like that. Bottom line, that's in the science.
I don't know how men sit like that because it's actually very uncomfortable because our hips are much narrower than women's. So when you sit like that, you can like feel it in your hips and your thigh. It feels horrible.
But I mean,
You
there's
know?
a way to sit like that, but not like that. Like he sits like a lady. Like he sits like a dainty. He almost like has white gloves on when he sits like that.
Oh, Commander, I mustn't.
Oh, stop it.
Lady
Stop
Elaine, I
it.
want to kiss you near the rose bushes. Oh, Commander, if we're spotted, it'll be a scandal.
What is this all about? Please, no.
I think he is the kind of guy that like, Justin Trudeau strikes as the kind of guy who wants to be swept off his feet and kissed.
Yeah, he's getting carried over the threshold for sure.
He wants to hear the Tchaikovsky's Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Stop that, eh? Gavin, no. What is this all about? Kiss him on the nape. He has a nape of his neck. Real men don't have a nape of their neck, but he does.
Yeah, men should biologically not have a nape on their neck. Only women should have it.
Fucking Trudeau has 2 napes on his fucking neck, and that's why he likes to be kissed.
I gotta find it though. I gotta find this thing because it is.
Little chub.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm gonna mute myself and find something. You ban.
Justin. What a Canadian disgrace. Oh my goodness. What's this all about, Gavin? Because they hang out too.
I found it. Okay, it's the Tchaikovsky's Romeo and Juliet, the fantasy overture. This is what's going through Justin Trudeau's head as a very strong.
This is in his earbuds.
Yeah, and this is in his earbuds when that big lumberjack, brawny paper towel boyfriend sweeps him off his feet. All right, here we go. You hear it?
Yeah.
This is Tchaikovsky's Romeo and Juliet. Here we go.
There it is.
Oh, Justin.
Ooh, stop it, eh? Ooh. Your hands are so strong, eh? Ooh, what will they
now
say?
Maple syrup. It's the maple syrup.
Ooh, let me see your hoser. Dude, he loves that. He just likes a pair of strong hands and just kind of grab them and toss them around.
That's the brownie paper towel man. The brawny, not brownie.
And when he's done, it's the brownie paper towel. Ooh.
Wait, Secretary Not Sure brings up a point. Big Mike sits like a man and he sits like a girl. So they actually cancel each other out.
Hello.
There you go. We're back to 0 now.
No, he likes it's not just the brawny man on the paper towels. He likes them because no other paper towel gets the face paint off. Like he used like 2 or 3 of those and it's gone. The other one.
When I'm done doing blackface, I like brawny paper towels.
Hi, my name is Justin Trudeau. And when I'm done doing blackface, because I'm not in politics anymore, I use brawny paper towels. 1, 2 swipes, it's all gone. Then I'm back to being a little shit.
Like it never happened.
Like it never happened. So if you like blackface like I do, use brawny paper towels. 1 paper towel, and you're white again. Fucker.
There you go.
Like he's the kind of dude. I'm not saying like someone should beat him up, but if you did, like there would be no need for face shots. I think you could take care of him with all body shots.
Yeah.
It's a couple hits to the ribs, 1 to the stomach. He's done nothing.
Ooh,
No need.
ooh. He'd be like the grape stomp girl.
Like, all right, I'm not.
Stop it! You're
anymore.
going crazy.
I'm not hitting you anymore. That shit's fucking. Ew, stop, dude. Did you grunt? Wow, come on. She's covering his mouth. You're too loud. He gets his mouth covered.
She's picking up his thighs and running him against the wall to kiss him.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh. That's
enough. That's a bad
that is Justin Trudeau, everyone. Or Governor Trudeau, the governor of the great 51st state. Trump is the greatest.
They're gonna hear you. Quiet.
Dude, how much are we gonna miss him when he's finally gone from office? Oh, it's gonna be something. 4 years is gonna fly by because it's gonna be so much fun.
I hate it.
Anyway, we were ahead on this movie. Now we're behind. Time for a little speed run.
We were doing so.
Yeah, so he got the golden bullet from her belly ring, the deformed bullet that killed 004.
And she even told him it went through his neck.
Right.
And into the wall, and she dug it out before the cops got
She
there.
said this is her lucky charm. She had a very grim sense of humor about this. This is not the first man
off the blood. I rinsed off the blood and I put it in my belly button. Okay.
Secretary sure reminds us this is like when Tyson said he knew that fighter was hurt because he was making those girl noises.
He was like, "Oh, my liver, oh God." Yeah, that's it's a good sign that a man's done fighting when he starts moaning like a chick. I think you know it's over.
And he starts, moaning and kind of wailing a little bit.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah,
so we're out of here.
Yeah, because I think if for a guy, if you're making a pain noise, it's like it goes down like ugh. So
it's a grunt,
it goes down.
Yeah.
But if you start going if it goes up, I don't think so.
You start doing that Justin Castro. No, thank you. This fight is over.
Yeah, you don't want it to go up. It has to go down when you
has to go down. Has to.
Yeah.
All right, that's better.
Yeah, that's better.
Much better.
Just a little tip for you guys out there. Don't go up when you get hurt. You
be a man. Go down.
Be a man. Be a man. Hold it in.
Be a man. Shove it down inside your body. Have a heart attack at 52 like you're supposed to.
So anyway, they identify where this golden bullet is from. There's only one man in the world that can make this nickel-plated gold something alloy, blah, blah, blah.
And they keep going back and forth. They keep looking at the microscope. Oh, I see them around the side. Oh, I see them. They keep like almost competing on who can diagnose, this bullet, this or whatever, the best. And so they finally figure out, we know where it's from. James Bond, get your fucking malaria shot. You're going to China.
Right. They find out it's this Cuban guy who's in China.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, he's a Cuban dude, but he's in China for whatever reason, or Portuguese or something. And no, I think Scaramanga is Portuguese and the bullet maker's Cuban, or vice versa. I don't remember. It doesn't even matter.
The bullet maker's Cuban because that's what he says. The guy's name 57 times to those 3 Chinese people who don't know what the fuck he's saying.
Right.
He says his name like a bunch of times.
Find this guy who makes these golden bullets for the assassin Scaramanga. We go there. We see all the I love the neon lights and the crazy stuff in Hong Kong or wherever he goes here. And he goes into there's some lady and 2 little children eating noodles. They don't understand a word of his British English, where he's like,
nope.
Do you know Mr. So-and-so, the bullet maker? Do you know him? Do you know him? They're just like, just eating their noodles. And then finally the bullet maker shows up.
Lazar.
That's
he goes, right. Lazar. And he has a piece of paper and he points at it. Lazar. Oh, so they don't understand if you speak English, but they can read it.
Right.
You jackasses, shut up and go in there. Then the guy comes out, oh, Mr. Bond, your reputation precedes you, sir. Come on in. So that's when he has a little underground fucking custom gun shop with the firing range and shit in there too. I'm like, what? I thought this was a little hole in the wall shit store in Hong Kong, kind of stuff.
Yeah, so he's a gunsmith, this Lazar. He makes custom weapons and custom ammunition. And he's made a rifle that doesn't have a trigger. It's for a fingerless man to use. The butt fires it by bumping your shoulder into the butt. And,
pretty smart.
Yeah, and James Bond wants him like, oh, you have the golden bullets. You have a new order that you're about to ship out. Tell me who. He's like, no, I can't tell you. I swore I'd never tell. Plus, I never even met the guy. He's not even the guy that picks up the bullets. Then James Bond shoots the gun right between this guy's twig and berries. Barely misses castrating this guy. And then the guy tells him, if you go to the Bottoms Up Club, interesting name, the Bottoms Up Club, that's where the person is going to pick up the bullets that picks them up for him.
And boy, do they mean it when they say bottoms up, because the very next scene starts with a close-up of a woman bent over.
Right.
And that girl was played by...
No. It's not the Bottoms Up Club yet. This is a different place. This is some mahjong.
Okay.
They go to the Bottoms Up Club later when that dude gets shot in the forehead.
Yeah, when we get to that part later, her name is hilarious.
Right. So this guy, this girl, this is the one that was on the beach at the very beginning of the movie. She is Scaramanga's girlfriend, the main villain. Someone puts the bullets in a basket for their wager. I guess that's how the wagering works. You put them in a basket and they pull them up to the second floor and you're gambling down on the first floor. I don't know what game this is or what they're playing. Either way, she takes the golden bullets, puts them in her purse, and she's going to take off and take them to her boyfriend. So, and James Bond, he does witness that stuff. We see how that's done, and he's there now in Hong Kong. He's now coming into Hong Kong. Sorry, and we see this half-sunken British
that
vessel.
thing is a trip.
Yeah, and it's just been sitting there in Victoria Harbor. And Victoria Harbor is near and dear to me because so many Hong Kong flicks have it, right? Double Impact, the name of this show. Victoria Harbor is a main scene where Van Damme is running from who's the beautiful woman that was Miss Universe like 7 times in a row with those crazy thighs? What was her name?
Miss Universe?
She was Miss Olympia. Sorry, Miss Olympia. The weightlifter chick with the crazy thighs that's choking out his she's the one that's working with the bad guys with Bolo Young and all them. Anyway, they're running and jumping on all those junks and all those boats through Hong Kong Harbor. And it's an iconic place for action movies because so many action movies were made in Hong Kong, right? Hong Kong cinema. And so I love it. And Dean Cain All-American Lawman Volume 2 takes place in Hong Kong. So we're going to have Victoria Harbor in that. So it's one thing, though, as a comic book writer to write a sentence. It's a whole other thing to draw it. You could write, they're on a boat in Victoria Harbor. It takes about 8 seconds to write the sentence, and then it could take a day or 2 to draw that page with all the buildings and boats and skyscrapers. So either way, he mentions this half-sunken boat that'll come into play later. He runs into Goodnight, who I think is not a good-looking woman.
Not in this, not when you initially see her, but she kind of grows on you. She dated Rod Stewart, but I think her beauty kind of grows on you. This right here, not good out of the gate.
What's up with her mouth? I feel like because they didn't do lip fillers in 1972, right? They didn't inject the collagen
So
and
she
all
has
that.
nice full lips. The ears
But
are
they
a little
got
big.
that pressed thing where they look like they're pressed with fingers back towards your nose.
Yeah,
the lip injection looks that way, but this is 52 years ago, so I don't think they had that stuff.
but this is that kind of quirky beauty that you were talking about. She grows on you. She grows on you. The more the movie goes on, the more beautiful she gets. But this her introduction, no.
Oh, yeah. And her last name is Goodnight. So that's
and she was 28 when she made this movie. So she's still a little PYT. Britt Eklund.
Yeah, so she's another 00 whatever. She works for the British intelligence. He's supposed to meet her there, and she's supposed to be like his partner here in Hong Kong to get to the bottom of trying to find this Scaramanga guy or whatever. See if they can hunt him down and arrest him because he's a bad dude.
Scaramanga. Yeah, so this part here is a little rough on the ladies.
So remember, she gets the bullets at the casino or whatever. He follows her to her ritzy hotel, and he just tells the bellhop boy, "Oh yes, just let me in. I have a surprise for a woman I'm meeting here. Nobody better let anybody into my hotel room just because they say they know me."
Nah, dude. He's in a suit. He has a British accent. He couldn't be crazy. Let him in.
I guess. And of course, she's in the shower. And he's staring at her in the shower. And then when she comes out, she pulls out the little gun. I want to know who takes a shower with a gun on them.
I'm going to start doing it. And it'll be a lot bigger than that. And how come every time I come in the bathroom, my wife's not just getting out of the shower like they are in these damn movies?
Right. That is a cool thing about being married is your wife's taking a shower or whatever. Do you have a bathroom in your bedroom? I do.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the greatest thing ever.
Right. Because then do a little peeping, but it's not wrong.
Hey,
No,
it's not peeping. That's all me. I can look at that all I want.
You're wide open. You're hiding nothing.
Telling you, these guys out here going to the damn club, going to the meat market every weekend, you guys are fucking up.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking up.
Yeah,
we got it at the house.
Got it on tap, buddy.
At the house any time. It's on and cracking.
When you were a little kid, you dreamed of like having your own soda machine in your house?
Yeah, like a McDonald's in your house.
Same thing.
That movie Richie Rich came out when I was like 14. That fool had a McDonald's in his house. I'm like, that's the greatest shit ever.
It's exactly
now I have a McDonald's in my house.
Yeah,
I got a titty McDonald's in my house, and it's awesome.
The new double titty burger.
Yeah, always on sale. The real McDonald's. Oh, the McRib might come back.
Right.
The McRib's always here at this McDonald's. Fries are always fresh and the drinks are always cold.
That's right.
Yummy.
Corporal Capote, I showered with my weapon in basic. Well, there you go.
Fuck yeah. I might put a gun in the shower. Once my kids move out, I will. Once my kids move out, I'm gonna have guns everywhere. But kids, you gotta lock those fuckers up.
You're gonna be one of those lunatics that just has a gun like in the coffee table, in the nightstand, behind the picture frame.
You sit on the couch, you're like, ow, what the fuck?
You step on something button and some guns just drop out of this thing. And
in my dreams, yeah, hell yeah.
You got a bird in the cage, but it isn't really a bird. You stick your hand in there, it's actually a gun. Like,
yep.
Someone's staying at your house, they go to make toast. You're like, no, don't touch that.
Don't plug that in. Don't plug it in. Somebody turn on the oven. Wait, no. Not the oven. Don't use the oven. Don't use the microwave.
Right.
Dishwasher. Don't use shit in my house because there's a gun in there.
There's guns everywhere. It's the whole thing.
If I live like out in a rural setting, like a ranch or a farm, I carry a gun on me all the time.
That's smart.
Critters, fucking whatever.
Do you do like the pelvis carry? Do you do it under the armpit? Where do you do it?
My own holster.
Just a holster on your hip?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, wow.
I practice with it. I practice drawing it from the holster.
You spin it and then blow the smoke off the top?
Well, no. First I load it, chamber around. Then I twirl it. to maximize.
It's more authentic that way.
Yeah, the more maximize the chance for injury or death.
You cannot. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not quoting the law. This is what I was told. You cannot go to the gun range in California and draw from the holster and shoot unless you have a concealed carry. And even then, you have to tell like the range master and all that. You have to tell them that you're doing that.
Yeah,
if you
go
have
to
a concealed
range
carry and you're pulling out like that to practice drawing, I guess that's totally frowned on at the range. So
yeah, but I go to the Bureau of Land Management, so it's like fucking whatever, dude. So you can do whatever you want up there. But last time I went to a range, this guy, he had like this AR pistol. That thing was fucking clean, and he was out there with his wife. And so there was this huge berm that everybody was shooting into, that was, 20 feet thick and, fucking 10 feet high, whatever. This huge berm. That's where all the targets were. Everybody's bang, bang, bang shooting. Well, she starts raising the muzzle, fucking almost shooting over the berm. No. And the range master's like, hey, stop. I was like, what? I put the gun down and everything. We look over to her. She's like a foot from shooting over the berm. He's like, there's fucking houses.
There's people over there.
Dude, I was like, oh, man, fuck this range shit. I'm never coming back here.
I wouldn't want to live within a mile of a range, I don't think.
Hell no. So I just go to the public land where I can do what I want at whatever pace I want and just, rely on common sense. That's why I take my family and stuff. I definitely practice drawing.
When we were in Vegas last year, did we go to the range? We didn't go. You weren't there long enough. Oh, that big party is happening again in April. Do you want to? We can talk offline, but if you want to go, I'll have them put you on the list if you want to go.
Yeah, that was cool.
So yeah, it was fun. I definitely want to go to that thing. So
yeah, I'm always down for a Vegas flight. That shit's like 45 minutes. I'm down.
Yeah, stay longer, stay another day, go to the range. It's fun. You'll love the Clark County shooting range.
Stay another day in Vegas, he said. I fucking lost it all.
Stay another day in Vegas, marry a second wife. I'll bail you out of jail for whatever it is you do.
Don't even worry about it. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Hey, what could go wrong in Vegas? Huh?
And you're sitting there in your jail. So where the fuck is Gabe? Oh, I'm home
you
now.
said don't hang up on me, Gabe. Oh,
that was your one call. Why did you call me?
Because you said a double impact. And you fucking.
I guess it's legally binding since I said it here. We'll talk off the air about that, but yeah.
Like, officer, let me use your phone. Go to YouTube. Gabe Eltaeb, EL. Yeah, okay. Now go down to this video.
It says video is unavailable.
Fuck.
Like I swear it's true. Yeah. That's what they all say. Yeah. They all say their friend made a big promise on a Wednesday night live stream. Sure.
He drew Batman. Yeah, really? Get the fuck out of here. Why did he take your call? He told me. So then I that's when I draw some primitive drawing of your face in my own blood and vow to take vengeance.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. We'll see. You ever hear that one thought experiment of you could have $1 billion and or something like or never die or some great boon, right? Some great gift. But there's a regular sized snail that moves at regular speed and it always knows where you are and it's after you. You can't kill it, you can't destroy it, and if it touches you, you die.
Fuck.
Do you take the money?
I mean,
Because you don't know where the snail is. The snail knows where you are at all times.
I think I'd hire like a team of snail watchers. I think I'll be all right.
Yeah. You could have a room and it was salt. Oh, the snail can't die.
Oh man, I was gonna say that I just buy Morton salt.
Right. Just live at the salt
Constantly.
factory. You're like Willy Wonka of salt.
There
There's no way of knowing how
He'll
quickly
never-
we are going.
He'll never find me here. More salt, boys.
Heather says she'd take the money, take her chances with the murdering snail.
Yeah, fuck it, man. Because
Yeah.
I mean, whatever time you have is going to be spent as a billionaire. So.
Right. The snail cannot be destroyed or killed, though. So
That's
I feel like
cool.
the snail will eventually catch you.
But how long will that be?
I don't know.
You know, we could be living it up. They'll hire snail watchers, and on the first day, I'll shoot one of them in the side of the head and say, if you don't spot the snail, it's going to happen to you, and we're good.
Dang.
Let's
Means
party.
business.
It has to be that way.
Ah, yes. Aristotle's eternal snail question. There you go.
But that's pretty fucked up, though,
What if you
because
get
most people
like
be
the-
like, it's just a snail. Yeah, I'll take the money.
I would
It's a
pay
snail.
someone, since I have all this money, I'd make a ball that was like a cube or a ball, and it was like 3 feet solid on every wall of tungsten. Put the snail in the box. We'd catch this snail. You know what I mean? Then we put him in this thing and seal it. And then he can't get out. A snail can't eat through tungsten. He can never die, but he's just trapped in this tungsten box.
Can you do that?
Why not? It's not against the rules.
But I mean, there's some magical element to this thing just appearing wherever it's like you're taking a shit and you look down and it's fucking 6 inches from your foot. Like there's
No.
a magical.
The whole reason it's a snail is that's how slow it moves. But it's always after you and it knows where you are, so it's coming towards you.
So I can see it.
You can see it. Yeah. You can see it from a mile. You know, if you had binoculars, you can see it from a mile away,
Yeah,
I
box that
suppose.
fucker up. Box him up in whatever they made Wolverine's skeleton out of and fucking
Adamantium.
throw it to the bottom of the ocean. Let's
Trap the snail in
party.
a fish tank.
Yeah, let's party.
You know what I'd do? Art of the deal, like Trump. I'd work a deal with the snail. I'd say,
Wait,
listen,
How much are they paying you?
listen, snail baby. Come on now. Let's talk about this. You can't die, right? You're invincible, right? We can get you. You like women? You like snail women? I think they're
Yeah.
hideous. You like them. We can get you
Yeah.
anything you want. Who's going to stop you? They can't kill you. I'll be the money man. I'll front whatever you want. You leave me alone. You get what you want.
Yep.
Let's shake
Oh.
on it. Just kidding. Not going to touch you.
Now get all the snail broads you want. Hey, Johnny, bring me one of those fucking snail broads over here.
Hey, and I heard you like a little bit of slug sometimes too.
And we got those too. Bring those disgusting broads. Look at this right here. Fucking slime everywhere.
No,
Hey!
people are saying it's live in a salt mine. No, it's an invincible snail. It can't die. That's the
And
thing.
what's his incentive to take the deal when he could just kill you?
Well, he can't take your money though. That's illegal. They'd arrest him.
But if he touches you, he kills you. So what's his incentive? He has all the power. He could kill you. So what's his incentive to take the deal? Hopefully he's in the snail broads. Hey, maybe you're in the snail guys or whatever. I'm not judging. Whatever
Hey,
you
snails
want.
are
I'll fucking get it
hermaphrodites.
for
You gotta be in the snail, guys. Hey,
Hey, I'll get you all the fucking milkweed leaves you could eat. Hey. All of that there. That fucking movie Turbo with the fast fucking snail. I'll get that for you all the time. I'll have it on loop.
there you go. There you go.
Sounds like a pretty good deal there.
We'll make a
snail.
new movie of Turbo starring you.
That's right. That Turbo 2. The snail and his broads.
Turbo 2.
Picture it.
Overdrive.
Every other day, I'll make it fucking rain in here. I'll put you in like a nursery. The rain, you know, like to come out on the sidewalk. Ain't
That's
no
right.
kids on their bikes here, huh? You fucking go across this sidewalk as slow as you want with your fucking slug broads.
That's
Leave
right.
me alone. Let me enjoy my billions. Everybody works out perfect. Huh? What do you think?
I think you're a reasonable snail, is what I think. And I think you're gonna love this deal.
I think if you don't, my boys here are gonna have a talk with you out in the alley. What do you want to do? Huh? What do you want to do?
What happens
Take
if
the
snail,
deal. Take the fucking deal.
after the snail touches the person with $1 billion? Does the snail die too, or whatever? Like, what happened? I don't know how this ends.
I think he would have to, because then what? He's just gonna slowly, traverse the earth with nobody to go after. I think if I die, he dies. If he dies, he
It's a
dies.
suicide pact.
Yeah, that I didn't make.
Yeah, I didn't agree to this shit, Mr. Snail.
Look, take the deal, huh? Take the fucking deal. Let's get out of here.
There you go.
Who doesn't want snail?
Everybody's got a price.
Who doesn't want a bunch of snail broads?
To be honest, I can't tell the difference when I look at these fucking snails. They look the same.
Yeah, they're fucking disgusting, eh? Hey, give me some of that salt. Kill that fucking thing. Or if you don't, need to sprinkle salt on a slug. All right. I'll fucking take the deal.
Do you feel bad when you step on a snail? I do. I feel awful. This poor
I feel
stupid
disgusted.
thing.
Fucking
I feel
gross.
bad for it though. It's so dumb and slow. What are you doing on my sidewalk? Come on.
It's so
man.
disgusting. It's like green and intestines and shit.
Ugh.
Ugh, fuck that.
Like
Snails are
a
gross.
living booger.
Yeah, like a
Ugh.
moving. Hey, what are you gonna do with those boogers? Make them fucking move and put a shell on them?
Oh,
Gross.
and then they leave that glistening trail down the sidewalk.
No, thank you. Kill them all. What
Yeah.
purpose do they serve? Because I don't ever see anything swooping down and fucking eating them. So what purpose do snails serve?
French people eat them.
But we're not in France.
Not yet.
Man.
France is going to invade with Canada.
Hey, that'll be the gayest, weakest army, the smelliest army ever. Go ahead, come on, France. I speak for the entire population of the United States of America when I say join forces with Canada, and please, pretty please, if my camera would go low enough, I would get on my knees and beg, please invade America via Canada. Please.
That's right.
You wouldn't get through North Dakota and Montana.
No.
You would get fucked so bad. That would give the rest of the states time. The South, they're pretty close. The South would be up there in no time. Then you're really in trouble because they don't even eat regular food.
Would you ever eat a snail? Because you're the one that likes seafood, and I consider
I've eaten a
seafood.
snail. I went to the garlic festival one time, and they had, of course, garlic snails, or escargot. Escargot. Yeah.
Oh.
When they're cooked, they're not as slimy as they look. They're just like more rubbery. But it was just kind of, I'm here, when in Rome, when in Gilroy. But to eat them like in any other way, you're fucking disgusting. Why would you eat that?
I don't know.
Why is the most gross shit a delicacy? Why isn't a hamburger a delicacy? Why isn't a hamburger expensive?
I feel like that's trolling people. Like, oh yeah, when you cut a lobster open, there's some reproductive organ that looks like green baby poop. Yes. And they call it the tamale. It's not a tamale like a Mexican tamale, but they call it the tamale, and it's just like green and juicy, and it's some reproductive organ in a lobster, and it's like a delicacy, dude.
Yeah.
People eating the yellow goo inside of a sea urchin. What in the blue fuck is wrong with you?
Dude, we eat coffee that was shit out by a civet.
My neighbor did that. He got the Kopi Luwak with those little, I don't know if they're rodents or some sort of monkey.
They're cats.
They're cat. Okay, they're felines. They eat the coffee bean, poop them out, and then rinse it.
Then we collect them. Yeah, we rinse the shit off, and then come over here and boil it and fucking drink it. Or anything, balut. Filipino people. I don't know if that's a delicacy.
Fully developed egg.
What the fuck are you? What is going on in the Philippines where you got to eat the damn duck embryos?
I love my Filipino brothers. I love my Filipino brothers. My best friend's Filipino. What is this? What is this?
That is fucked up.
Why are you eating this?
Dude, oysters?
That's a beak, dude. That has a beak and tiny feathers, and you're eating that?
That is gross.
What are you
When it's
doing?
a yolk, we're good. Anything past that is fucking disgusting.
Shit.
Ew.
Why would you eat that? It's balut. Now, to be fair, I know a lot of Filipinos because San Diego.
What's fair about that? That is fucking gross.
Hold on. To be fair, every Filipino I've ever talked to, my best friend, all his relatives, they're like, no way, I'm not eating that. And the ones I tried it was disgusting. So, it's not like they like it. The ones that I know.
No, but all the old school ones, I guarantee you, their parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles, they'd be throwing down on those by the dozen. That is disgusting. And also oysters. Like, you know what? I want the snot that I blow into Kleenex, but can you make it cold and put it inside of a rock?
Hold on. Hold on.
Problem.
This is what I tell you about seafood constantly. You're agreeing with
Seafood's
me.
not the same texture. It's not the same texture. You can't compare like a cod, a piece of cod, to a slimy fucking cold snot rock oyster. That's disgusting.
The same spectrum of stinky.
It's like wait. What are you gonna do with that whale sperm? No. Chill it and then put it on a skinny rock, and I'll suck it down for fucking $50 a
Well, you got to
dozen.
put a little Tabasco
Okay.
on it. Then it's
Yeah, because Tabasco, that's gonna make it all better. Oh, thank you.
Secretary Not Sure points out that was not a bird yet. It was a clump of cells.
That's
That's
right.
true.
So kill it all you want.
Yeah. Just for the record, we are all just clumps of cells. If we're being honest, that's all we are. Is a couple trillion cells apiece. So there you go.
All put together in different
Yeah.
ways with thoughts and
Yeah.
personalities, but nonetheless, just a bunch of cells.
00 Lies goes into this lady's room while she's showering. She comes out with the
Yeah,
gun.
get her. He's a little rough on her.
She has the gun. She gets him over the bed, like, who are you? What are you doing? And then he gets the jump on her, knocks the gun out of her hand. Then
Easily.
Throws her on the bed. It's slightly,
a little erotic. But he's a little rough with her. But
a little rough. I feel
had
like
that been a man, he wouldn't have just knocked the gun out of his hand and pushed him on the bed. He probably would have killed him.
well, if it was a man, maybe he would have killed him, maybe he wouldn't. What he wouldn't have done is place his crotch on the man's rear end
He's
and lay on his back.
Your rump, Dad.
Now,
there we go.
Now that I have my crotch on your rump, tell me what I want to know.
Now that the helmet is firmly between your butt cheeks, let me stop the interrogation. Gross. Yeah, he cranked the arm pretty good. She's I'm not gonna tell you. She was like, ow. All right. Like, dude, he's all break it if you don't tell me, darling. And so she's like, okay. And then he smacks her, flips her over, smacks her in her face.
Yeah.
I don't tell you. He'll kill me. And he fucking smacks her a good one. No. And then he goes, he's gonna fucking give it to her again. Then she's like, all right, it's at the Bottoms Up or some shit.
The Bottoms Up Club.
Good try, darling. But of course, that's a strip club. So why would that man be there? Try again. And she tells him exactly where it is. And then boom, cut to like the camera is up the girl's ass.
Yeah.
And then it starts panning out. My son was like, ew, gross. They were kissing. He's like, gross, Dad, cover your eyes. Cover your eyes. Why are you looking? I was like, you won't be covering your eyes for too much longer there, Junior. You got about 3 more years and your eyes.
So then we get,
this
Asian broad is in the middle of the table where these men are, I think, just drinking. And when it cuts to the club called the Bottoms Up, it's her butt takes the entire screen. Basically.
Yeah, the camera, they shove the camera up her ass and then they start panning out. It's like butt, and then they start panning out and seeing the rest of the bar. But yeah.
I like the sign for the Bottoms Up Club.
That's international.
I want that on a hat.
That's international. You know exactly what that, I don't care if you don't read English, you've never seen it. You know what that means.
That is the Bottoms Up Club. Now, I feel, okay, so in English it says Bottoms Up, but then around it, there's a lot of Chinese writing. I wonder, what does all the other stuff say?
Probably something about a dragon, jade, some shit like that, golden.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rip a screenshot from there. I'm going to rip that screenshot and feed this into Grok, and it will read it to me. Yeah, I love the Grok AI shit. It's so good. I was at the Asian market by my house, and I wanted to know what this food was, and it only had Korean writing on it, and it read the whole thing to me. Let's go to X, and I'll go to my X account. And
say Americans are stupid or some shit.
Right. Let's see what else this sign says on it, because hopefully it's funny. Hopefully this isn't like Geraldo and Al Capone's vault. What does this sign
It says something super nice. Only one time lotus blossom will bloom. You're like, oh man, I wanted to say something fucked up.
Okay, here's what it says. Oh, it's Japanese kanji. It says, in English, the main part of the sign reads, bottoms up in bold letters with a heart symbol above the text. Grok, that's not a heart, that's a butt.
That's an ass.
In Japanese, the text on the top part of the sign reads, which translates to, let's enjoy the finest bourbon, house welcomes you. On the left vertical panel, the Japanese reads, which translates to delicious, safe, secure. On the bottom part of the sign, in Japanese, it says, which translates to the 8.5 hour of the underhanded. Though this might be playful or stylized phrase, possibly referring to the theme of the established. Yeah, that must be a pun that makes sense in Japanese or whatever. It's interesting that it's Japanese, even though they're in Hong Kong. But remember, Hong Kong is not Chinese at this point. It's more British and Chinese.
And the Japanese, they have occupied China or Shanghai and shit for a while too. So
yeah, so I don't know what the whole reference to the
that's a good way to describe your strip club. What did it say? Safe, clean, secure.
Safe, clean, secure.
Yeah, I like that.
We will warn you if the cops are coming in to do a spot check. We will warn you.
Even just clean.
Yeah.
Boom. Name it clean. All right, I'm
Safe,
coming in.
clean, secure. So that's what it says on the bottom. Up. Yeah, bourbon, safe, clean, secure, and the 8.5 hour of underhanded such and such, which must be a pun that makes sense in Japanese idioms. So, and Grok got it. The one thing wrong, that is not a heart in the middle.
That's a fat ass, Gronk. Step get your shit together.
Wow, the black guy, you really came out there for a second.
That's a fat ass.
Oh, goodness.
That's what happens.
Yeah, that's how it is. Oh, so she tells James Bond he's going to be at the Bottoms Up Club. She goes there and, talks to Bond, does some stuff she's not supposed to, right? And,
yeah.
Right. No, she goes and meets Scaramanga. This is Three Nipple Guy. This is Christopher Lee, the actor.
Yeah, which is still
and like
weird.
He doesn't trust her. He knows she's up to something, but he
Mhm.
doesn't know exactly what, right? And he's kind of like getting after her and quizzing her, what's going on? Why'd you come in so late?
You can smell that bond on her.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
She's walking funny.
Yeah. So either way,
he's like, why are you holding onto the wall, darling? Like, nothing's twisted my ankle.
You hurt your hip doing something.
Your thighs, they look like they're kind of open.
Why are your thighs quivering when you walk?
Why are your legs wobbling? Come over here. I can't. Joe, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Why are you walking so slow?
Are you smoking a cigarette, having a sandwich? Where were you?
So yeah, she was not where she was supposed to be. She's a little mentirosa.
Now, turn around. Let me see your back. It looks blown out.
Well, I found the bloody problem. Your back. It's all blown out.
It's all blown out. Knick-knack, come here. Get a bag of ice for her back. It's completely blown out.
What's wrong with her back, boss? It looks blown out to me.
Oh, yeah. Tell me around, please. Oh, yes, the back. It is so blown out.
As we say in France, it is a blown out back.
Is it, how do you say in English, it blown out the back?
Devant.
A back is so devant. Of course, it's what I said, Knick-knack.
But the question, Knick-knack, how? How was her back blown out?
Of course, it looks like it was blown out by at least an 8-inch baguette. Oh, that's odd. Mine is not 8 inches. Where did you possibly get an 8-inch baguette to blow your back out, darling?
Not till we find out how. We've got to find out why.
Why is your back so blown
I tell
at
you,
this point?
it's most confounding.
She's like, I just want to go to sleep.
So anyway, Bond is on his way to the Bottoms Up Club to go find out who's what over there. And because that's where Scaramanga is supposed to be. He sees himself in the TV, straightens his tie, looking like a pimp. Then tattoos on his way there too, or I guess Knick-knack. He's tattooing famous guy.
Shit.
I want to know.
That's
Okay,
so
women are the way they are. They love money, status, power. This guy achieved money, status, power. Was this guy at 3'2" or whatever,
3'11",
hanging out with 5'11" beautiful models?
he was married twice.
Damn.
And Fantasy Island, that TV show, was on for like, I want to say 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
So, dude, he was famous.
Well, it doesn't take much for this guy to be up to his neck in ass. I mean,
He walks around, he's constantly up to his neck, but sometimes it's guy's ass, and he's like, I don't want to be down here.
No.
But he that just goes to show, when Trump said, they let you grab him by that, that's proof. This guy was married twice. Do you think it was because of his personality or his good looks? No, it's because he was rich and famous, and he found at least 2 women who were willing to marry him. He was married at the time of his suicide.
He killed himself, this dude?
Yeah, shot himself. Because his organs were oversized, so it caused pain when they're pushing up against the inside of his body. And he just got sick of it one day, so he fired a shot to wake up his girlfriend, his wife, and then the second shot he fucking
terrible.
At 50 years old.
Damn.
It's only 50.
Wow.
Yep. Really sad. So yeah, that's all that
Mr. Reese says there are those who thought little of him.
Oh.
But
he had a drum set in here.
Yeah.
Little rim shot.
So
but yeah, so he's getting followed around by this little turd. But there's a scene later on where I'm like, there's no fucking way. But anyway, we'll get to that for sure. But this guy, he could take out James in this scene.
Right. James Bond is about to go into the bottoms up. This guy's across the street in the window watching. That's triple nipple. Wow, just came up with that. Triple nipple Scaramanga.
Trip nip.
Trip nip. Yo, what up, Trip nip?
Trip nip. What's up, bitches?
Yo, this is Trip nip, and you're watching MTV. Like, what do they do with those bumpers?
Oh my God. Dude, there's got to be somewhere a file that just has thousands of fucking.
Right.
Hey,
yo,
what's up? What's up?
You worked at a radio station, and they would have like, yo, this is LL Cool J. You're listening to Q106. But if you drive 2 towns over, yo, this is LL Cool J. You're listening to Jammin' Z90. Do they just pay him to go into the studio and record 400 of those for Clear Channel Communications? Just for every station in the country?
Those are called drops. So every station he goes to, there's a bunch of paper, pages of paper that are stapled together. And he goes down the list. All the DJs' names are there. So, yo, it's LL Cool J, all the time. You're listening to Rambro 102.5, K-Don, That was my name on air. So then he goes to the next one. Yo, this is LL Cool J, and you're hanging out with Showbiz on 102.5 K-Don. Yo, this is LL Cool J, you're hanging out with Eric, afternoons on 102.5 K-Don. Yo, this is LL Cool J, everybody, all the DJs, he has to do that for the whole station. And then he drives, 45 minutes to San Jose, gets to Wild 94.9. Hey, this is LL Cool J, you're listening to blah, blah, blah.
You're listening to Lewis and Flowak. Morning Zoo.
But they make it fun. Like, they don't just read it standard. Like, they'll, say some shit or try to make it funny because it makes it interesting for them because they're reading. This shit's got to be fucking boring. And it's almost like homework. It's almost like your chores. They got to do it. They don't get paid extra to do it, but it's just something you have to do. It's part of your radio tour. So even if you want to go or you want to get out of there, or you're hungry or you're tired, blah, 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 you got to make sure you knock out those drops before you go.
I listen to talk radio. I like AM talk radio, sports radio, political, stuff like that. I wonder if music stations really exist much anymore. They can't how they used to. Because if people want to listen to music while they drive, I don't. But if they want to, they just plug their iPod into the car and just play what they want to play, right? And not wait for the song you want to maybe come on the radio, right? So.
Well, you could do that, but terrestrial radio, the morning show, that thing, that whatever that is, still has a strong hold on people.
Yeah, because those are local. That's San Diego, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So they'll be talking about our city and making jokes. And
you can...
the one here was Rock 105, Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw. They were on the air for 30 years here in San Diego.
Yeah. But that has that local feel to it. Also, that's a good source for tickets.
Oh, 10th caller. We got Weezer tickets coming up in April 35th at this sports arena.
It works, and you still have people who grew up
listening to the radio. Did you notice I said April 35th?
Yeah, my son was like, Dad, is today February 29th? No, we're done with February, son. He was like, what? I was like, why do you not know that? You're in 3rd grade. What the fuck am I doing? So, but yeah, and it's a good way to get tickets. Plus, you have people who still grew up with only listening to radio, well into their 20s. People in our age group, maybe even into their 30s in some cases. I love the Alma radio. I think. Yeah, I mean, it's very nostalgic, and it's still, in our DNA. We still like to listen to it. Like you said, AM radio. You could easily plug your shit in and listen to fucking blah blah blah.com. Whatever. Yeah. Streaming, but it's that. Something about the radio. It's cutting the commercials. It's, hey, you're on the phone with blah, 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 taking calls. You can't take a call online. It still has a place. It's definitely been wounded by streaming services, but terrestrial radio is still pretty strong.
I remember our generation still wanted to get their driver's license at 16. I don't understand. The last 15 years, kids could care less about.
Yeah, I know somebody whose teenager doesn't want to drive. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Ever since you turned 14, all you want to do, man, when I got my driver's permit, I would bug the shit out of my parents to let me drive home from church, let me drive to the store. My mom would be no, all right, stop asking me shit.
I've heard of kids that may have driven before they were 15 or 16 by taking their mom's car one night and they didn't know how to turn the headlights off or on and were driving around with their best friend. I heard a story like that once.
Yeah, it didn't happen to you, but somebody
else. No, not me.
Yeah.
It was a brown Plymouth Reliant K car. and they didn't know how to twist the knob, and they figured it out, and they were driving around in the evening and, went and visited different friends from their high school before they had a license. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Not me, just
living on the edge.
an older boy told me that story.
I knew somebody who had 10 plus acres. So they had a car that they would drive around on the property. It was called a jitney. And it was this lime green monstrosity with the top of it cut off. And it was a total piece of shit, but it ran, and they would drive it around the property. And this kid, when he's like, ever since he was 12 years old, was driving that thing around the property. But again, this happens to people that we don't know, because we don't engage in illegal activity our entire lives. So, yeah. But those kids, I'm sure they had pretty good experience by the time they got their license. But I still remember getting my license and driving for the first time by myself, like legally by myself on the highway, where I wanted to go at my pace, listening to what I wanted to listen to.
So good. Going through a drive-through for the first time, like an In-N-Out burger and all that by yourself. And what is with kids not getting their license? My kids got theirs 15 permit, 16, like they wanted to get theirs right away. But
why does that freedom? It's not just it's the freedom. Why is that freedom not enticing anymore?
I think they don't care. They want to be on their phone all the time. They don't have to go anywhere because they go everywhere on their phone.
But that stole your hunger for freedom?
I don't know. Like, kids don't go to the mall. All the malls died, because
the mall was everything.
I don't know what kids do. I don't know what young people are doing besides being online. I have no idea what they do now. I drive by the park. There's no fucking kids there. When we were growing up, when we were youngsters long, long ago, it was just street football everywhere you went. Street baseball. Playing baseball on a regular two-way street, by the way. It's so small. There were kids everywhere. Kids at the park. Kids wandering off into the semi-wilderness near the city. That's what you did, man. And I think kids are just like, just staring at their phone, sitting on the couch or something.
My son has a glow-in-the-dark football. We play at night. There's no, it's dark, we got to go in the house. We wait until it's dark, and then we go outside and play with the glow-in-the-dark football. Yeah, my kids, they still go outside. My daughter, she goes to the park with her friends. I make them. They could easily be on some kind of screen. But I'm like, no, you get the fuck out of here. Go be a kid. Go get some sun on your face. Jeez.
I heard someone say, when you want your kid's childhood to end, give them a phone.
Yeah, man.
That'll end it.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's sad. It's sad. It's being a kid is a magical thing, and all the movies and video games and all the TV, man, it just destroys it. You should really just go out and use your imagination and play. And then watching a Disney DVD or whatever should be like, cherry on top, like a thing you do occasionally, not fucking all day, every day, or online. That's just so bad for you because it's passive entertainment. You're not engaged. You're just just staring, So that's like the YouTube. One of the best parts of doing this is the chat. Like, I want to know you guys. Like, I want you to ask questions, make comments, make jokes, joke with us. Like, of course, you listen and you laugh and you listen along, but it's like it's your show too. There's no point to doing a live if there aren't people talking to you. That's the entire point of it. Is to interact, to not just sit there, so.
Talk to us, you little bricks.
Yeah, say some. Say anyway,
something, shithead.
So Scary Manga's watching Bond because Bond is going to the Booties Up Club. And this guy comes out, and he's a scientist who developed the new Soul X. It's a device, and it can capture more solar energy than anything ever. There's another guy who lives in Thailand, I believe, and he's the biggest energy guy around, but he's threatened by this guy's device. So he wants him whacked, and he wants the device stolen. That is the main technological plot point of this movie.
And it cost $1 million per assassination. Per round he expends is $1 million. So that dude, that Southeast Asian energy dude, paid the man with the golden gun $1 million to smoke this fool. And he could have shot James Bond if he decided to go off plan or whatever, off script. Shoot Bond instead. He could have, and Bond admits that later, like, hey, he had me dead to rights because he shot him right in the back.
And Bond was standing just to the left of this guy when the shots rang out. He was like less than 10 feet away.
They were walking in opposite directions because it looked like he was going to shoot Bond at first. And son was like, he's going to shoot him in the back. I was like, nah, man. I said, you can't shoot somebody in the back. And he's like, why? You're going to shoot him anyway. I was like, but yeah, there's still some honor there. If you're going to shoot somebody, you look at him and you don't shoot him in the back. I said, unless they're, harming somebody else and you got to stop them. But if, you're going to do this assassin shit, you look him in the face. You don't shoot him in the back.
Right.
But he didn't. He didn't. He shot this dude. Right.
That's how your son grew up to be the world's most honorable assassin.
That's all I want.
That's all I want. Said, always look a man in the eye when you end his life.
I want my son to be an honorable assassin, and I want him to stand on the tip of a roof in Japan, and I want the wind to blow and his flowy clothing to blow in the wind with a sword on his hip. That's all.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, this guy gets shot. And then Bond is like arrested by this guy who's a Hong Kong police, or is he? They throw Bond in the car, but then they don't take him to the station. They take him to a boat. They take him into Victoria Harbor. Scaramanga comes home, tells his pretty good-looking girlfriend, I know what you did.
Bitch.
I was there and I saw what you did. I saw it with my own two eyes. What are the rest of the lines of that song? Something. It's all been a pack of lies. I could feel it coming in the air tonight. Anyway,
it's all been a pack of lies. Yeah, Phil Collins, one of the greatest artists of the 80s.
Yeah,
period.
Him and Bryan Adams and Huey Lewis are in heavy rotation for me. Those three, love all three of those guys.
Yeah, Phil Collins is a shit.
Yeah,
this thing. Dude, he had a voice too.
Yeah,
he wasn't just like a poppy singer. He had a real good voice.
I've never been to a Phil Collins concert, and he tours the U.S. He's toured sparingly a few years back, I think before COVID. He came here, but he only came to the East Coast. I told my wife I wanted tickets, and like he was in New Jersey or somewhere. I was like, I'm not going out there. I want to see Huey Lewis. Never seen him in concert, but Huey Lewis has some condition where he lost his hearing, so he can no longer sing. He lost most of his hearing, so he can't sing because you have to hear your own voice when you sing. So he says he's hoping and praying and, I don't know, seeking some medical treatment to get his hearing back from this condition. But he says, if and when he gets his hearing back, he'll do some more. So I hope so, because I've never seen him. And one of the greatest bands of all time, Huey Lewis and the News, in my opinion. In my opinion, love him.
So could you imagine seeing Studio live with Phil Collins?
Right.
Oh, man.
Just say the word. Oh. Studio.
Dude, that shit would be off the hook.
Yeah.
That song is awesome.
Yeah. I always go back and I'm like, the
90s
were cool, but the 80s, that was it, man. That's
the best. Yeah. And I'm glad the 70s were so bad because that's what made the 80s so good.
The 80s were a reaction to the 70s. And it's funny, if you look at Biden, you look at Jimmy Carter, you look at the economy, you look at the political problems, you look at Carter, you look at Biden, you look at Carter, it's like, are we in the 80s again? I hope so. I hope we get more of that music, more of that Rambo, Miami Vice, Commando, all the stuff that the 80s had that was so great. And it petered out in the early 2000s. It kind of died in 93, 94, 95 is when wokeness started to go, hey, what if we were woke? What if everything was about gay people and racism? That's when that started in the mid-90s. That question was asked. Well, asked and answered, my friends. Stupid.
Well,
it would be stupid if everything was about racism and gay people.
Well, I hope we're in December of 1979 right now.
Yeah.
We're just about to fucking January 1980. Boom.
I think so. We got to 1989, and then, of course, the 90s started. I will petition Trump to rename 2025 to 1980-10. So we have 1980-10, 1980-11, 1980-12, just going like that. We'll stay in the 80s.
Yeah. He'll rename anything. Fucking,
the Gulf of America. It's 1980-10. You're gonna argue with me? It's fucking 1980-10 right now. It is.
There is no Mexico without America, so we'll name it Gulf whatever the fuck we want.
Call it whatever we want.
Same in Canada.
Here's the thing: the rest of the world is finally figuring out. The era of the Western world, at least America, just being run by cuck men that do everything because they're worried what women are going to tell them. That is now over. You are being ruled by hard, mean men, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
But sadly, I think we are the only country in the West doing that. Look at Europe. They're just fucking saturated in chicks and dudes that want to be chicks. Mexico's ran by how is Mexico ran by a Jew? I don't understand that. But anyway, and then
Well, I guess she's
Canada,
from Mexico, but she lived up here in the Bay Area or something like that.
yeah, and her parents were like commies or some shit. Like what? But I say that not some conspiracy, but Mexico is a Catholic country.
It's pretty Catholic. It's very
and
Catholic.
That'd be like them electing a Jew, or it is like them electing a Jewish president, but like them electing a Muslim president or something. Like it's not even close.
But that's like the globalism. Like so many of the leaders, they don't match the people of the country very well.
Yeah,
and that's the thing that Trump has done so well. He's resonating with people. You see a CBS poll. No, it is a Snap poll on TV. It's not scientific. Like 78% of people loved his speech and agreed with it. And the Democrats are sitting there. They won't stand up and cheer for a 13-year-old boy who overcame cancer. They won't stand up for Lake and Riley or the Nungare girl or any. They won't stand up and clap for any of that. They won't stand up and clap for all the embezzlement and all that being rooted out. Like that's not partisan. That's just good. That's good
down
for
the middle.
That's
a slow pitch right over home plate.
And they're just like, and they're holding up their stupid signs.
Dude, when that little kid's dad picked him up and held him up, come on, you're fighting back tears.
Right.
And these monsters didn't even stand up, man. Come on.
Right. Well, you see, all they care about was their USAID money because it was so many of these politicians, it was like, oh, their spouse runs a charity that got $22 million. I see how the scam works.
Oh, $10 million went to pay for Chelsea Clinton's wedding from USAID. What? How? Why? How is that even? Why is that? I thought the parents of the bride paid for the wedding. What the fuck? How does a government agency get involved in that? Just tons of shit, man. Tons of bullshit. Paying people 250 years old, Social Security. That's awesome.
I was listening to all that. Like $20 million to transgender mice.
Yeah. What do we gain from that?
My wife was reading me so many of these. It was millions of dollars to encourage the sale of fruit and berries in Peru. What are you fucking talking about?
Look,
what does that even mean?
I know this is going to sound very mean, but I don't give a fuck if people in Peru are getting enough antioxidants. All right? I don't.
It doesn't keep you up at night, Jerry.
Fuck you guys and your weird flutes and your blankets and your hats.
Okay, the Jericho Green household, it's night. The moonlight's coming in across you and your wife's body. She's sound asleep. You're wide-eyed. She wakes up and goes, honey, you're awake. I can feel it. What's wrong? And you tell her, I'm just worried they're not getting enough fruit in Peru, honey.
Baby, we got all these berries, black and blue and poison. What do they have? Huh?
You think a little Peruvian boy knows the taste of a fresh raspberry?
You know what a blueberry does for the bloodstream? This little fucker doesn't have it, but we're sitting there with all our berries in the refrigerator.
I threw away a bag of strawberries because one of them had mold on it.
I'm a piece of shit. The only thing I've ever bought from Peru is our cocaine. Yeah, right, dude. Let me get
the next night, you're wide awake. Your wife wakes up. Jericho, what is it? You're like, it's just not fair the kids in Baghdad don't have their own version of Sesame Street.
We've had
it for them $20 million for Pop-Its.
We've had it for like 50 years and we don't do shit with it. They don't even have it. They would appreciate it so much more.
The next night, Jericho, what is it? I think they should have a transgender opera in Ireland.
They have Guinness and leprechauns, but they need a transgender play. Come on.
I just think they should have a transgender comic book in Peru.
Yeah, and how come nobody is studying workplace violence in Bolivia?
You're just shuddering while you cry.
Yeah, and if she's worth her salt, one day she won't be there.
No.
And she's left to find a real man.
What about the PPP loans and Oprah and people like that taking millions of loans? Pelosi. Oprah is a fortune of like $2 billion. She's taking millions of dollars to make her Harpo Productions payroll.
She needed it.
Jeez.
So let her have it. She needed it.
Anyway, Bond ends up going with the fake police officer, who was really another British agent, but he fooled everyone by being Asian.
Son of a bitch.
He gets on that sunken ship to escape those guys that he thinks are cops arresting him. It turns out this is a British base where his boss is. Now, that's weird that your own boss, who sent you on this mission in this very town, wouldn't tell you that this is our new headquarters. Hey, if you need to check in, we're right here.
We have your back.
That's dumb writing that you don't know your boss is a half mile away from you. That's dumb.
Come on. And you have to be brought in this secret way and all this kind of shit like you don't work for them.
Oh, 007, I see you found our crooked boat base in the middle of Victoria Harbor.
I see you found our slanted lair. Welcome. Have some tea.
There's no cover surrounding it, so everyone can see us entering and exiting at all times. It's not really secret if you think about it.
We didn't do a very good job on this 007. And all the lights are on in here, and it's dark outside. You can see us very easily.
Would you care for a spot of tea?
And all the glasses are like slanted and shit. He's like, this is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, so they're inside of a crooked boat, which I think is a cool idea. It's not practical at all, but come on, this is a comic book. James Bond does have some very comic booky stuff in it, and which is fun. It's not an insult, but the slanted boat secret base, I might steal that for a comic book I write in the future because I really like this. I don't know why I like it, but I really like this.
Why is Q there, the gadget guy? Why is he sitting in on these fucking meetings? Why am I seeing so much of Q? Q is always supposed to be in the huge, 10,000 square foot training facility, to test everything out and, his laboratories and somebody shooting a fully automatic weapon into a fucking stuffed animal that's bulletproof. Whatever they got going on, somebody's wearing a bulletproof jacket, whatever.
You just
flame proof.
He's got the teddy bear down there. He's all, see you in hell.
Yeah. Like that shit's supposed to be going on in the background. Why is he sitting in on a meeting?
He's here for the audience. So you go, oh, it's that guy. It's the gadget guy.
Like, what the fuck, dude? He's not even supposed to be here. He's supposed to be in his lab. Man, this movie sucks.
Yeah. So anyway, they tell him about the other energy guy who lives in Thailand, I believe, not in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So they have to go to Thailand. His name is Bat or Fat or Yat or something like that,
Fat.
right? Something else. Yeah. He's
It's
Thailand.
what is it? It's something fat.
And he's a legitimate businessman, I think.
High Fat is his name.
Fat. There you go. Hi, Fat. And remember when Joe Biden told that guy, hey, Fat, when he was talking to that guy?
Yeah. Actually, that's fat shaming.
Anyway, they go to his estate, him and the Asian British agent. They go to his estate to go investigate, and he pretends to be Scaramanga.
The Brazian.
So look at this high-tech surveillance the British intelligence does.
Hell yeah. Billions. And he's standing
I'm supposed to believe this is professional spycraft.
Yeah, this is how you get it. You don't know how to get into a fortress?
This is what middle schoolers do.
Yeah, this is how you get your ball from the neighbor's yard when you hit it in their backyard.
So he gets on the property. He sees a naked woman swimming in the pool whose name is Chew Me or Chew My.
This.
Yeah, I think it was some sort of sexual innuendo joke.
Yeah, Fook Me, something like that.
Yeah, that might as well have been her name.
Yeah.
What's your name, naked swimming Asian woman? It's Fook Me Haga.
My name is Fook Me Till You Done. That's my name.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. And then he's going to jump in the pool. He tells her he doesn't have a bathing suit. She says, oh, I don't have one either. And you can tell she's naked, but the water's rippling.
Yeah.
Then he rips open the shirt. And, here's why your friend Q was here. Because Bond had to ask him to make the fake nipple.
He makes like gadgets, not
he made him
rubber nipples.
I have a special request. It's a bit kinky, but I'll need it. He says that line. So then he gets the third nipple. So when he pulls the shirt off and he meets High Fat, the big criminal businessman who killed the guy with the Solex device, or had him killed by the man with the golden gun, he thinks it's Scaramanga because he has a third nipple, because he's allegedly never met Scaramanga, but somehow everyone knows this dude has a third nipple.
Yeah, but the third nipple's on the wrong side, number one. Right. It was above his left teat with no hair, remember? But anyway, I guess if he never met him, he's not going to know where his third nipple is.
Right.
But the girl and all that, it was just fucking ridiculous. Who are you, darling? Oh, you can see look in the water, you can see my wonton.
You like crab rangoon?
Okay, there.
What's the one that's the deep fried?
Farrah.
What's the little deep fried pastry with the cream cheese in it and sometimes crab? Is that the crab rangoon?
It's a rangoon.
What is rangoon? That's a fun word. I like that word.
I don't know. It feels like they get it from like the genitals of a lobster or something.
Nah, I don't like it anymore.
You put the shell around it, and you have to get the rangoon to feel it.
No, it's a little interesting for me to go to Asian restaurants because the diet is so seafood heavy, for Asian cuisine.
It'd be a tough time.
But I'll get the avocado cucumber sushi. Love it. But that's all that's in it is cucumber and avocado.
But you'd have to go to like Japan, man, because they eat a lot of beef there.
Right. I love Korean barbecue. A lot of beef, a lot of pork.
You fuck around in Thailand, you're going to be eating something.
I got a bunch of spicy bulgogi in the freezer behind me over here. That's good. That's good.
If you're in Thailand, you're going to end up eating something that we step on here. So.
Oh, we got an answer. None of them says Rangoon is a city in Burma.
Rangoon.
Who invented Rocky Mountain oysters? I guess nothing goes to waste. Do you know what Rocky Mountain oysters are, Jericho?
I think God invented them, but who decided to eat them? That's some hungry motherfucker. That's who did.
There was a restaurant called the something like the Junkyard or something like that, and it's in Fort Collins near the University, Colorado State University. I would go up there on Thursdays to go to the comic book store and then meet my comic book artist and writer friends. There were 4 of us that lived in town up there, and that place, the Junkyard or something, whatever. It was a college, like dive bar / restaurant during the day. They had Rocky Mountain oysters on the menu. And I went and the guy I was with ordered them at lunch one time and I wouldn't touch them. Never had them, not eating it.
That's a pretty smart, novel item to have on your menu, though, if you're near a college.
You ever had them?
No, but I would eat them.
No. The only balls I put in my mouth are like gumballs. Sorry, buddy. Maybe malt. I'll put a malt ball.
It's not like they're still connected to the fucking bull and you're like sucking on them or something.
You're still putting balls in your mouth, dude.
But it's not in the shape. It's not like a testicle. It's
It's
like you have the bag.
What is it?
The scrotum, and you're like, I'm eating balls. They're fucking sliced up.
But what is it?
Their testicles are sliced.
Yeah, and they're
the way I've seen them.
And now they're in your mouth.
But they usually like slice them and deep fry them.
So well, because they're huge.
But you're taking away the slimy element. So
look.
Yeah, I'd fucking try
it. Heather's calling you out.
I don't give a fuck. I'm eating those balls. It's not like they're fucking like human balls. And he's like,
somebody clip that. Somebody clip that and send it to me, please.
Licking his fucking testicles.
Are you gonna lick your fingers afterwards?
That's not all I'm gonna lick afterwards. No, I don't give a fuck. I'm eating them.
You know what sounds disgusting when you read the ingredients, but it's delicious, is chorizo, the sausage you mix with eggs or Mexican breakfast. Mm-hmm. And it's everything but the oink. But one of the things in it that I read on the side of the package, the saliva glands. Just
everything.
Everything in the pig except the tail,
They grind it up. So you're eating some pig cock. There's some pig eating penis.
No,
you're eating penis. It's penis and it's in your mouth. You're putting penis in your mouth. There's a big
bin at the butcher at the meat packing plant that says Jericho Green, and they throw all the pig balls and dicks in there and they ship them to your house.
Yeah, but they empty them first in the bin that says Gabe Eltaeb. They empty the.
Are these the pickled pig penises for Jericho?
All the pigs are excited to line up at the Gabe barrel because they're like, "Oh,
how many pig dicks? How many pig dicks have you eaten in one sitting, Jericho?
How much have you drank in one sitting? People love to go to that fucking Gabe barrel, man. They line up. Don't take much.
Have you ever had that stuff like pickled pig's feet and things like that? I see it at the store.
Hell, that shit's gross. There are people who eat that shit. People like usually from the South and shit, white and black folks, they love that shit. Gross.
What are chitterlings? What is that?
It's the fucking poop intestines. It's where the shit goes. And they clean it out and bleach it, all this other shit.
You can never clean that. You wash it all you want.
This is the process. And they clean them out, if whatever that means, and then they cook them and eat them. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not eating that shit.
See, Secretary Not Sure is my guy. He says no balls. I'd rather eat eyes if I had to. Me too.
Oh, you guys are so fucking manly. You wouldn't eat testicles. I don't fucking care.
You're gonna have to say for the rest of your life you had balls in your mouth. That's all.
I'm willing. I don't know who I'd say that to, but okay, I'll do it.
If asked, you'd have to say yes.
Hey man, before we go in there, you ever had any balls in your mouth? Funny you ask.
You ever enjoy succulent balls?
I have. Oh, I can't come in now? All right, whatever. Oh,
The
fuck it.
crime
They're
of
good. I'll eat
enjoying a
them.
succulent meal, a succulent Chinese meal.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that guy?
Oh, yeah, that dude. That's a fucking man right there. That's a man
Okay.
right there.
Succulent
Dude, he
Chinese meal.
sounds
He died this
like
year,
every man. Every man should sound like this dude. How well put together and fucking efficient would the world be if every man was like this dude and sounded
right.
like him?
So this guy got arrested like in the 80s or the 90s for
That's some bullshit.
for who knows what he got arrested for. But as he's being arrested, he's so theatrical. It's amazing. Now let's hear him. This is a real arrest of this guy. And I don't know. It's hilarious.
But you just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Get some cups.
Why did you do this?
Up in the car. Get some cups.
For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, let's see. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? How dare get your hands off me.
What is that guy's deal? Ah, I see you know your judo well.
Judo well. Man, I wish I could sound like that someday.
What is the charge? Eating
What
a
is
meal?
the charge?
A
What?
succulent Chinese
A
meal?
succulent Chinese meal? And you? Are you waiting to receive my flaccid penis? Get your hands off of me.
Secretary
was
Not Sure
fucking
says real men of genius eat the clam, though.
Agreed.
That'll get you breakfast in the morning.
Hey, what's his name? Tracy Morgan? He's like, I eat it till I burp. Tracy Morgan is a fucking national treasure.
Lando Calrissian's my uncle.
Hey, Billy D. Wills is my biological father. Dude, this dude's
Tracy Morgan is one of the great.
so hilarious.
Because just his face and his voice, just like talking, he's one of those people that's just funny, just naturally hilarious.
He has two of the greatest comedy specials. First one is called Black and Blue, and then the second one came out, I think maybe a year or two after that. It's called Bonafide.
All right.
Hilarious. He has a bit where he talks about, he goes, white people, they let their kids do anything. I saw a TV show where this white girl went around the world in a boat by herself. And my daughter said, Dad, I want to go around the world in a boat by myself. I said, bitch, you better get in there and make a lasagna with your mama using 4 different cheeses. It's just so weird. But hilarious.
Yeah, he's
remember that Paula Dean scandal?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
they asked her if she said the N-word 38 years ago. She's like, maybe. Like, well, then you deserve to lose everything you've ever worked for. Justice is served.
This is justice, and it is served. But he had
you say the word that every last person on earth has said in their lifetime.
Yeah, in the 50s, and Tupelo, Mississippi, like on the butthole of the South. Like, of course
she probably grew up in a place where saying it wasn't even insulting. It was just normal how you said it,
Yeah, and if you didn't say it, the black people were like, "Are you okay?" We're like, yeah, are you okay, dude? His take on it, not only was it hilarious, but it was smart, and it was one I hadn't heard before. But his bit about that is classic, man. Tracy Morgan is.
Can you sum it up real
hilarious.
quick? You don't have to make it funny, but what was his concept?
He basically says, I wouldn't trust her if she didn't say that.
Right.
He's like, I
wouldn't believe anyone that said they'd never have said that in their life.
He said she got an order for 175 chicken wings. He said, if I got that order, I'd be like, hey, this order's for a bunch of, and he drops the N-word, but he's so funny, man. The way he does it is clever and hilarious, but the whole special is funny. But Tracy Morgan he's too funny.
Love him. I remember he got that horrible car wreck and he had all these terrible injuries, and then he came back to host Saturday Night Live. Did you ever see that monologue when he started?
I haven't. I saw the special he did after that.
Well,
but I didn't see his monologue.
he comes out on SNL and he's like, I want to thank everybody for the support and for standing by me. And then he switches to like a normal voice. And like he's trying to pretend like he's retarded from the car wreck.
To make it all awkward, have everybody feel sorry.
Yeah,
for
at
him.
first he just come out like talking about thank you so much for supporting me. And then he switches.
And he
it
probably
up to,
didn't tell anybody that.
Psych, I'm fine.
He probably didn't tell anybody that. That's so funny, dude. So funny.
At least he can laugh at himself because he fucking almost died.
Yeah, he lost a friend of his.
Yeah.
And the guy that would a friend and he would open up for him, he died.
Weren't they like they weren't in a car, they were like in a touring bus.
in a sprinter.
Right. So they probably were not belted in and everybody's flying all over the place.
They got fucked up. And he got a huge settlement from Walmart. But how strange is that to get a bunch of money, but you lost somebody to get it? And so now you have tons of money. You have more money than you've ever had in your life. You could ever dream of.
Right.
But one of the people that you would share it with the most and the experience with the most isn't here. It's almost like you don't even want it.
Wouldn't you feel weird about wasting any of the money or something, like
what a weird feeling that is to have all this money to do all these things, but the person, that you probably do it with, that's insane. There's a singer recently the other day named Angie Stone.
Okay.
Great R&B singer. She got hit by a 18-wheeler, like similar to Tracy Morgan, except I don't know if anybody else died, but she didn't make it. And you see the footage of it. It's fucking insane, man. I'm just like, wow.
I was watching a thing. I found a great YouTube channel. I can't remember the name of it, but he's a real rock and roller Hollywood guy, like a 60-year-old guy who just loves rock music. And he drives all over LA and Hollywood. Like, this is where the Doors took that picture for this album cover. And this is where so-and-so overdosed. And this is where so-and-so first played in Janis Joplin's kitchen with Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And he was like, he drove out to that middle of nowhere, going halfway up your way to where James Dean got plowed into by that other.
Oh, yeah. Got his head peeled off.
And when you see that Porsche Spider that James Dean was driving, dude, it looks like a soda can that somebody stepped on. Like,
oh, dude, yeah. And he was I mean, I don't think a seatbelt would have made a difference, but like basically his head was sheared off. Yes. Funny story, kind of.
Also, one sec, Heather. I think a Walmart truck hit Tracy Morgan's van.
Yeah, it was a Walmart truck.
Yeah, so that's why you have a big settlement with them.
So my brother-in-law and I, like going on 4 years ago, we're coming back from the shooting school front site in Pahrump, Nevada. It's like
interesting.
It's probably midnight, maybe 1 a.m. Coming back, it was an 8-hour drive. And we're right there where James Dean, right by the monument there. Right. It was probably a couple hundred yards up the road from us. We were right about to pass it. And here comes this car in our lane, speeding, going around somebody, but getting dangerously close. And at an unsafe point where, it could have been real fucked up, they get over and speed. They get over in their lane and speed past us.
Jeez.
So it could have been, fucking lights out right there where it happened. And we drove right past it. It was fucking crazy, man. And just, that infuriates me that somebody else's stupidity and somebody else's poor choice can totally impact and fuck somebody's family up.
Yeah.
Forever.
Very sad.
Forever.
Very sad stuff. I love driving. Like, I'll fly, but, I don't fly that often, but I prefer to drive when I go to Vegas or I go to Colorado. I just like the big open road. There's something so American about it to me. And, my wife will be with me and I do all the driving and I'll go in the other lane to go around people when it's safe and when it's legal. When it's legal, they have the broken yellow line. When it's not legal, they have the solid line. No matter what, though, the wife gets, they get a little squeezing into your arm with the nails. It's like, dude, I can see for a mile and a half. It's flat. There are no curves.
This is the safest place on the planet to make a lane change. Don't worry.
There's no one here but us. Like,
and don't let an 18-wheeler get next to you. Oh my God. Watch out. I was like, he's not gonna fucking come over and crush us into the fucking wall. Jeez.
Right. It's not Large Marge driving. She's here to kill you.
I made sure.
My daughter was afraid of diesels when she was like 4, 5, 6 years old. She called them VSARs. And she would go, Dad, there's a VSAR behind us. And in the early 2000s, for whatever reason, so many semi trucks would buy these grills that were giant monster mouths.
Oh,
They
yeah,
had
the teeth.
And she
Yeah.
would see the BSAR and its big teeth, and she'd be like, Dad, Dad, they're coming.
It's like breathing smoke and the headlights are red.
Like,
It's going, "Rawr."
like that horrible movie that Stephen King made when he was at his worst on cocaine called like Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah.
With the Green
holy
Goblin
shit.
truck, like all the trucks and appliances and cars and toasters attack humanity or something like that.
I guess that could be done well, but he didn't.
It wasn't. He directed that movie, and even he will tell you in interviews it's a piece of shit, that movie.
Mhm.
Heather says, why are people in such a hurry to save 10 minutes? So stupid. I agree. My mother gave me one bit of driving advice. I think is the greatest advice you could ever give anyone about driving. I've never forgotten it, and I live by it. She said, and I quote, go the wrong way instead of causing an accident. You know when someone misses the freeway exit and then like a 4-lane switch and they cut 7 people off and they crash or people die or something like that? My mom says, just keep going, hit the next exit and come back. You don't need to get there that fast. You'll be
Take
fine.
it easy.
So her advice to
Take
me
it
when I was
easy.
15 of go the wrong way instead of causing an accident. That's a good bit of advice.
Yeah,
You
chill
know?
out, dog.
Yeah.
Chill.
You should calm the fuck down.
Yeah, driving. My parents would tell me that. My dad, driving is all about defense. It's true.
Yeah.
It's all about watching other people and see what they're doing, watching what's coming up ahead.
Yeah.
What they're gonna do.
You get a
Yeah.
feeling about some people, their car's all ratty and ugly. They got like 7 washing machines stacked on top. You're like, I'm getting away from this guy.
Yeah, you gotta look out for that. You gotta
Yeah,
look
you
at
gotta
how
speed
people
away.
are driving
Yeah.
up ahead of you, or what they go flying past you. Fucking what do you think they're gonna do? Shit like that. Yeah, you're always just calculating. I always thinking of it as what the Terminator saw. That red screen and everything's just being calculated, distance and height, and
Right.
speed and all that stuff. That's what you're doing. You're just constantly
We do that when
taking
we're
in
driving.
information.
Yeah, we do that when we're driving. We do that at the beach with women.
Yep. Measurements.
That's
No.
a motorboat factor of 9.7.
Yeah. That's a dude. That's a dude. That's a dude. You're like, oh, fuck.
Do not engage.
Are you sure? Oh, it is.
Oh.
Right again, computer. Sorry, I doubted you.
Anyways, Trip Nip talks to High Fat.
Anywho.
It's Trip Nip and High Fat in the morning.
Trip Dip and High Fat brought to you by Butthole Scrub. Get a clean whistle.
When you got to get it clean the first time.
We need that whistle to glisten. Get Butthole Scrub.
Heather says her mom's boyfriend is missing his left eye and always wants to pass every car. Terrifying. Oh my gosh. You know what, Heather? Here's what you do. You say, no, I'll meet you there. We'll take 2 cars. I might leave early. I'm going to bring my own car. Just tell them
I'm
that.
not feeling well. I might want to get out of there.
I might leave early. I'll bring my own car,
Instead of doing Hail Marys every time he changes lanes.
The one-eyed Joe's like, hold on to your butts. And he just oh my goodness. That is
man.
that is something.
Good shit.
There's that meme of like you're riding with your home and he's got the pedal to the floor and he's like, I did everything for her, man.
What the fuck? That's how you knock that for. Ow.
There was this isn't funny. This is terrible. But my son, he went to a pretty exclusive high school, and some of those kids had some outrageous rides. And he went riding with a kid one time his senior year, and it was, a Maserati or a Ferrari. It was some crazy sports car. And then like a year or 2 later, that kid, like when they were in college age, he drove down the freeway in that car full speed right here on the 5 freeway, head on, and crashed and killed himself and like a mother and daughter. It was like a suicide thing. But I just remembered that when I was joking about the suicide thing. This is not funny. But
Why the fuck would you take somebody with you?
Dude.
Fucking little bastard, man. Jesus.
Yeah. Just first of all, don't kill yourself. But Adam Carolla always joked, like, if you're gonna do the murder suicide, he's all just do the suicide part first. That's what he said.
Fucking
so
asshole.
I would say do neither. Say pray and go see a counselor immediately. Go to someone. Like, don't come on. So, but yeah, that's what Adam Carolla said on his show one time. So anyway, any Trip Nip and High Fat in the mornings. And so they crawl over the wall. He talks to him. Hey, I'm Scaramanga. We're going to do this, that, and the other. Turns out Scaramanga is at the compound. He does know high fat, and they've just been plotting against Bond the whole time. They don't get him right there.
No, they invite him back for dinner at 9 o'clock.
Coming back for dinner because they want to serve it cold, I guess. He comes back and tells the Asian British man, hey, I got him. They're a bunch of dumbasses. I have to come back tonight. This is about where the movie goes off the rails.
Well,
so far, the movie, I would give the movie a C up to this point. It's watchable to this point.
Well, and then he takes his, he walks up the car and says, they've invited me back for dinner at 9 p.m. And he peels his nipple off. What does he say when he throws a fake nipple away?
What does one say when they throw their fake nipple away? He says some little smart aleck remark, and I don't remember.
Yeah, like I'll keep you abreast to the situation, or some
I think
shit
that's
like
what
that.
It says, something like that.
Something. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And then it just now
right
the beginning of this movie is going up slowly on the roller coaster. Now you're cresting the top, and you're about to just go.
You're cresting the top, but what you've noticed, if you look over the edge of the car, the wheels have come off.
Yeah.
And it is about to fly down the hill and crash and burst into flames. This movie was okay to this point. Again, I'd give it a C. It's over now, this movie. And there's a lot to go. We are going to speed run it because we've really been derailed tonight. So he's going to dinner. There's Goodnight, the other British spy. Looking good in the white suit with the black tie.
Told you she's growing on you, man. She's growing on you.
Yeah, no, she looks good here. She looked real funny in that opening scene. I don't know if her makeup was done wrong, but her face looked weird and contorted. Her lip was swollen, I think, or something. I don't know. He looks great. The black bow tie, the white suit. That's an awesome look. They get in the car,
but
Asian British man has his two nieces.
His nieces, yeah.
And for some reason, the nieces have got to be there. They're going to drop him off for dinner, and then they'll pick him up later that night or tomorrow. It's a little unclear.
He fucking tells the girl, she goes, oh, James. He's like, I'll be back, darling. And he goes, oh, James, I'll keep the champagne cold. And he goes, and keep other things warm. And then he gets in the car.
Like, what's he talking about? What would be warm? Like what?
I think he's talking about a vagina.
Oh, indeed. You wouldn't want that cheese.
Yeah, don't let your vagina get below 98.6, darling. And so she sees those girls in the back of the car, and they're like, all giggly. She's like, oh, and keep other things warm too, James.
Oh,
like,
that's right.
Those fucking girls, like they're teenage girls. Like, anyway, number one, we're talking about James Bond going to the main maniacal world-conquering bad guy's house, and I'm carpooling with another agent in a fucking Toyota with two teenage giggly girls in the back. Where's his Aston Martin?
Well, and
where's he pulling up to the valley? Oh, here you go. And careful, don't push the red button. Or whatever. What the fuck? Where's his Aston Martin? Why is he carpooling with this fucking Asian dude and his nieces?
Let's freeze and fit, as we say on the football field, practicing. You're a British intelligence, yet you're letting an Asian man drive.
That's not intelligent.
I don't know about that.
Look at this shit car. It's a fucking regular car. This is James Bond, and he's going to the main bad guy's lair. He has to pull up in the Aston Martin. It has to have some bulletproof thing that shoots up over the back window to protect him. It has to squirt oil out of the side, so they're like, ugh. The bad guys are slipping. What the fuck is this?
They're gonna carpool in like a Toyota Corona or something.
Yeah, there's like fucking juice boxes and chips and goldfish bags in the fucking car. This is ridiculous. This is James Bond.
So he goes to the property. They let him in. There's armed guards. He goes to this garden that I've seen a special on it years ago. I saw it on some show about China or Asia or somewhere. And it was like hell. It was all like a Disneyland, like figures all painted and posed. But they were being tortured in hell. These people, they were being cut open, vivisected, boiled alive. And he goes to the garden. Tattoo or knick-knack is there. And he's like I don't know, painted face warrior with a devil spear. And then there's two sumos, but they're not fake either. They're not statues. And then they attack him. He's fighting there's a lot of male sexuality.
He's being bear hugged at this moment right now.
I don't like the triple nipple, and I don't like James Bond's power move to fight the sumo. The sumo's beating him up. The two sumos are beating him up, and one picks him up over the shoulder like a sack of potatoes. And James's move is to go in and grab both butt cheeks and dig his fingers into him. Then he grabs the top of that thick belt, the belt diaper underwear the sumo wears. I don't know what it's called. And he pulls it up and twists it. And that gets the guy right in the gooseberries.
Yeah,
So,
like twist his balls.
yeah.
So let's go. Yeah, everybody knows the old pressure point of your ass cheeks. Because that's going to make a murderous henchman let you go if you squeeze his fucking ass cheeks. That was so dumb and weird. And
But what if I dig my fingers into his buttocks?
What if I dig my fingers into his rump? So fucking dumb. And then, so yeah, all those statues and shit were weird. One guy was being cut open. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then you got the little midget dude. He's down to fucking, stab this thing in his neck and be done with it. But then here comes, oh, stop right there. Let him live. Bring him inside.
Yeah, High Fat and Scaramanga, the two bad guy leaders, are like, no, we're not going to kill him. We're going to send him to the dojo karate school in the morning instead of killing him with the spear.
Yeah. The one guy who could take me out, I'm going to leave him alive and let him, tussle with the boys in the morning.
But Scaramanga, will you go watch him at the karate school, or will you just let him go there with the karate students and trust that they'll do him in?
I feel like they'll do a good job. We brought plenty of people here and they've handled it well. Why not the number one spy in world history? I'm sure they
But if he's the number one killer, your number one rival, who you find to be the biggest threat to you in the known universe, you wouldn't want to verify that he was dead. You're just going to take their word for it.
Yes, of course. No. Give me a call, send me a letter or something, and let me know. Once he's
smoke signal.
Yeah, something of that nature.
Messenger pigeon.
Yeah, put the little note on the little foot and send it to me.
So yeah,
no need to verify that the number one person in the world that can kill me is dead.
Yeah, so instead of just killing him there, I bet if I was James Bond, what I'd be most disappointed at this point. I wake up, you got beat up by the sumo and the little midget with the spear, but you didn't have dinner. So now you're starving because it's
hungry.
Like 10 a.m. the next day and you haven't eaten in like 15 hours now.
And they dressed and they stripped him down and dressed him in his little gi. Hey, go back to the little midget about to stab him. Dude, I see why he got married. He's a little
he's jacked.
He's probably packing some heat. Probably got a regular sized dick in there. He's ready to go, dude. The chicks are like, yeah, I'll do it.
He's jacked for a tiny little dude, though.
Yeah, he yoked up. Shit.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, he wakes up in a dojo. There's demonstrations of fighting. And then they make James fight like the big badass karate guy.
Yeah.
And he beats the guy's ass and then jumps through a wooden window. And here's some horrible writing. His friend and the two girls in the back of the car are literally there when he lands outside the dojo. Mm-hmm. How do they know about this dojo? How do they know its location? It's not at the bad guy's palatial estate. It's just somewhere else near a river. And B, why are they there the moment he flies out the window? This is horrific writing. This is like, this is, oh my God, like kind of writing when you're watching it. Like, yes, he jumps out a wooden window wall.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it is.
And then they're there. And then all these karate students, and you have to put it in context of 1974, whatever this is. Bruce Lee is hot shit at the time.
He just
Kung Fu has invaded America. Karate, Kung Fu, it's gone crazy in American culture, and they're throwing it into everything. Comic books. There's, the Master of Kung Fu comic book from Marvel Comics. There's Shang-Chi from Marvel Comics. There's stuff over at DC. There's movies. There's TV. There's all this Kung Fu karate, and so they throw a bunch of karate into this movie, and all the students rush out to capture James Bond, and he's trying to fight these guys with his buddy, and then the two nieces or whatever. They take over and beat everyone's ass. So it's played for comedy, but it's stupid as hell. It's just dumb.
And I don't know. Actually, I'd say the beginning of the karate craze that swept America. Bruce Lee just died the year before this. I think it only gained in popularity after he died. It is Asia. Martial arts comes from Asia, so maybe have some good fighting scenes. Maybe you get a hold of a young Jackie Chan or Sammo Hung to come down and choreograph this bullshit, and then maybe give Roger Moore some lessons so he just doesn't go
look all lanky and stupid.
Chop. He just chops you in the back of your fucking head, and then that's it. This was terrible, and that's the whole reason that they worked Asia into the fucking storyline is because of the Kung Fu craze. It never had no
right. Because I went and researched it because when I saw this scene at the dojo and then the fight and then the boat chase we're about to get through.
That's 90 minutes long.
As I say every week on this show, as a writer, you understand when it's bullshit. This wasn't in the book. I'm certain, maybe, but I doubt it. But it wasn't in the original script. I'm certain. This is added by an executive at Warner Brothers or United Artists or whatever. Like, oh, you know what's really hot right now? Karate. We need a karate fight at a karate school, and we need a boat chase.
Ugh.
And the reason you know it was added by non-writers is it doesn't change the story at all. It doesn't move the story forward. It just happens, and then it ends, and the story's still the same. It does not move.
It doesn't
the
have
plot.
any stakes.
No,
it's not keeping him
happened.
from reaching a certain destination by a certain time.
No,
It's just horseshit.
it's busy work. It's nothing happening. When you write a story in the middle act, it's called Act 2. That is rising action. So they keep running into problems and they keep getting worse and worse and worse, but they keep moving the plot forward. This is just useless fodder. It's stupid. It's boring. It's annoying. So this movie is that. It went off the rails and it's bad. So he steals a speedboat. He's running from the bad guys in the speedboat. There's a little boy selling like tourist shit, and it's a wooden elephant. And there's a fat lady like begging this guy to buy her an elephant. And this guy is the Louisiana police officer from the last movie, Live and Let Die. Or Live and Let Die. So I didn't realize that for about 5 or 10 minutes. Like, why do they keep showing this guy? He got his big damn chewing tobacco in his mouth, and oh yeah, shit. What does he call the Asians? Like pointy heads or something? He had this super racist thing he would call them. You pointy heads don't know how to do nothing.
Yeah, he had like a handful of tobacco in his mouth, and he definitely came to Southeast Asia to fuck lady boys. That's why he's there. Yeah, can't do this shit in the United States. Man, frown on it. But down
Mr.
here,
Reese says
man,
that's J.D. Pepper. That's right. J.D. Pepper is like a sheriff down in Nolens or whatever.
Hoo-wee.
And the movie gets so freaking annoying here. I'm telling you, the first 20 minutes of the movie, I'm like, wow, this is good spy thriller. They're setting up a lot of stuff. We got this secret stuff going on in Hong Kong. He's going to Beirut. It's like, okay, where's this going? And now we're here.
But that's the first 20 minutes.
Yeah. And so then
now we're here.
It's an idiotic boat chase. The boat
forever. For fucking ever.
And this is out of character to me. You never want your hero to be an asshole, like mean to animals or children or old nuns or blind people. This little boy's a beggar. He sells these garbage trinkets to American or European tourists for money. The boat quits working. The bad guys are gaining. The kid gets in the boat because he's swimming like from boat to try and sell these stupid wooden elephants. And he tells the kid, I'll give you $1 million baht, which is like their dollars, baht, B-A-H-T, if you can get this engine restarted. And the kid turns a valve and it like fixes the boat so he can get away because the bad guys are gaining. So then the kid's like, you owe me $1 million baht. He fucking palms the kid's face and shoves him out of the boat and takes off.
What a dick.
Like, that's horrible writing. Like, he's the hero. He's not supposed to be like that.
Not only are you an asshole, but that's dangerous. They could have ran that kid over when those boats going 100 fucking miles
an hour. The propeller would have chopped the kid to pieces. But like, he's a kid. Like, you're mean to a kid. That's like, what is the character? That's so bizarre. This is so poorly written.
Even though they shouldn't have done that in the first place, but if they did, which they did, at the end of the movie, you should have had this kid going into his mom, opening up a package that got sent to her, and inside is $1 million baht.
Right.
Something to fucking, like, all right, he's not a prick. But you just left it as, no, he's just an asshole who shoved, not only was a dick to the little kid and made him sad, but you put him in, he could get killed.
You shoved him in there with these propellers flying by.
They could fucking hit that kid and kill him.
Yeah. And this movie just keeps getting stupider and stupider and stupider.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my wife. She's looking at me like, I don't know. I thought it'd be good. The last one was good. So we got J.D. Pepper, the less successful brother of Dr. Pepper, actually.
Yeah, nobody talks about this guy.
Yeah, no one talks about him. We got the Solex device. Mm-hmm. Remember, they shot that guy in the forehead outside the Booty Up Club, and they got a hold of the Solex device from that guy. High Fat wants it because he wants to hide it. He wants to use it himself, and he doesn't want to all his business because he deals in energy, probably oil, solar, all that stuff that might have been around at the time. So he doesn't want this thing out there because it would have destroyed his business because it's too efficient. The man with the golden gun just shoots him, Scaramanga or whatever his name is, shoots High Fat, kills him. One of High Fat's top henchmen comes to the room and goes, what happened? Like, there's a gunshot. He's like, oh, he just resigned. I'm in charge now. And the henchman's like, okie doke.
Okay, cool.
Hey, I'm sworn my life to protect my boss, but I guess you're the boss now.
Insert boss here.
So it's like,
no problem.
When you're writing, and I don't want to get like I'm a teacher here, but you have to earn everything that happens in the story. You can't just say it happened. It has to make logical sense that's pleasing to the audience. It's just like, You killed this big criminal boss, and his henchmen are like, "Hey, whatevs." You know, like, yeah.
He's like, hey, you're the boss now. So do I suck your dick 3 nights a week? He's like, what? Of course
It
not.
just keeps getting dumber and dumber.
What's going on here? Yeah, 3 days a week. I come in here and it's what the boss wanted. It's like, I won't need that. I don't need that done.
So Bond reconvenes with Goodnight, the Two-Face. I like how Heather said she's a Two-Face. That's good. And then this guy, he always has the pervert smile watching.
Creepy little bit. He's up there jerking off with his little midget hands.
That's the noise he makes. Don't mind me. I'm just watching from afar.
Hey, I'm just up here masturbating. There's some people down there. Oh.
No, kiss her slowly, like a lover.
Yes, like that.
Like,
Let's slow
like
it.
a lover.
Slower, yeah. And
Yes.
Never mind. I'm done here. Thank you.
You people are disgusting. Get away from me.
I must go now. Bye-bye. Disgusting.
That built-in personality change that men have right after.
What's going on here? Disgusting. I must go now.
It's the truest thing in the universe. Is immediately after the romantic encounter, for about a minute or two, nothing sounds worse than sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like after eating a gallon of ice cream, someone offering you food. You're like, please no. Please no.
But that is soon washed away.
Yes. And then you give about a minute or 2 or 3, and you're like, okay, sounds good to me.
We're back. Yeah,
I'm back,
yeah.
baby.
Wait.
I do wonder what that is. I'm going to ask Grok, is there some sort of chemical released in the brain or what? I go ahead and stall the audience for a minute because I'm seriously going to investigate. I'll turn my mind.
Yeah, there's a chemical released in your ass. So he told her, remember when he shoved her in the closet and said, oh, don't worry, darling, you'll get your chance. And then he threw her in the closet. She's like, no, James, my clothes are over there. And he threw her in the closet. Shut up. Closes the door, bangs the other chick because she wants him to kill, what was his name? Maga Ramalama Ding Dong. His fucking name. Scaramanga. And so she wanted him to kill Scaramanga. I'll give you anything, even my poon. He took it, told her, hey, good night. You'll get your chance. Now it's her chance. No, wait, this is it. This is where, so this is where she gets shoved in the closet. So first, he hears something at the door, hops up, covers her in the sheet, gets behind, gets in the other room around the corner, pointing the gun. He sees it's her, turns on the light, come over here and talk to him, blah, blah, blah. Oh, James, please, I need you to kill him, blah, blah, blah. I'll give you anything. I'll pay you money. I'll give you punani, blah, blah, blah. He's like, all right. Then
yeah, what is revealed here is supposed to be a big twist, but it falls flat. Sorry to interrupt. It was not Scaramanga that sent the golden 007 bullet to the British authorities to threaten James Bond. It was her.
It was me, James.
Help. It was her who sent the golden bullet to get James Bond, to get this guy on James Bond's radar to do something about it because she hates Scaramanga.
Mm-hmm.
And she's sitting there on the bed with the other woman that James was about to boink between them with no idea. Real quick.
She's under the sheets, yeah.
Real quick, I asked Grok what the deal is after the male orgasm, men become completely disinterested in sex on a psychological level. Is there a chemical reason for this? Here's the answer, official. Yes, there's a chemical basis for this post-orgasm disinterest in sex that many men experience, often referred to as the refractory period. This phenomenon is tied to a cocktail of hormones and neurotransmitters. The key player here is prolactin, a hormone that spikes significantly after ejaculations. Studies in endocrinology, 2002. Blah, blah, blah. Prolactin is known to suppress sexual desire. It counteracts dopamine, which is a pleasure, reward and motivation. So essentially acting as a brake on the system. So then there's oxytocin and vasopressin, which promote bonding and relaxation. And a dip in testosterone activities, let's see, not necessarily levels.
Less testosterone.
So you have the same amount of testosterone, but the activity of it, the efficacy of it goes down temporarily. So you get prolactin and you're like, you know what? maybe that wasn't such a good idea.
Yeah. So that's slowly choked out as your balls refill. It's like, shut the fuck up. Now, where were we?
I heard young people refer to that as post-nut clarity.
That's right. Jerk
That's
it first, kids. Jerk it first.
Yeah. So
Some
I heard someone once say that the concept of the werewolf is a metaphor for male sexuality. Like you're overcome, you know, with primal feelings, right? This, that, and the other. Then there's all this stuff, and then you wake up and your clothes are torn and there's a little bit of blood and you kind of don't know what happened.
You get that silver bullet. Now you're not a werewolf anymore. And you're caught in the wreckage of some ugly chick's vagina. Yeah, that happens.
I saw some rocker. Who was it? I don't know if it was, I think it was Lemmy from Motorhead. He said he never went to bed with ugly women, but he sure did wake up with some.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Trapped under it, ready to gnaw your arm off to be free of that elephant.
So prolactin is the chemical. That's the main culprit there. And then oxytocin. And
try new prolactin.
I knew that's what it had to be. I knew it had to be a chemical thing because it's near instant, you know.
If you don't like the way your penis is acting, try prolactin. Before you go out with a salute, come over, it's 2 a.m. Take prolactin. You're like, I'm good.
I'm gonna stay home, play Xbox. See you later.
Stay away from that whore's house.
Yeah.
Because if it was easy for me, probably easy for a whole lot of other people too.
Yep.
Ooh.
So she's gonna send him after Scaramanga. Please kill her boyfriend for her. He shoves, and then she's like, "Oh, James." She wants it from James, so he shoves Goodnight in the closet.
Good night.
And at dinner, Goodnight said, "I'm not gonna sleep with you." And then 5 minutes later, she's in this room like, "I was playing hard to get." He. So she agrees to sleep with him. That's a big deal for her. And now he's shoving her in the closet so she can witness him with the other woman. And this is the part you said your wife got kind of mad at.
Yeah. She was like, did he just shove her in the closet? Yep. And he told her she'll get her chance too. She's like, oh, she better not. Of course she did.
She did.
Run into that ding dong. So yeah, but this is for the mission though. I mean, yeah, what a cool thing to do for
this is
mission.
for Queen and Country.
Darling, it's for Queen and Country. I'll go in there and listen. So yeah, he blows her back out. And then next morning, Goodnight wakes up, it's all sunny outside. Oh, James. And she goes back trying to steal some shit. Yeah. She goes back home first. Yeah.
She goes back home to Scaramanga, and he's just like,
now wait a minute. If she goes back that same night, that means he left Goodnight in the closet knowing that this girl was already gone. He didn't even get out of the closet. That's fucked up. Because Goodnight wakes up in the closet.
Well, I already facepalmed that kid and threw him out of the boat. We've determined he's a complete asshole.
Fucking prick.
And she's here to steal the Solex device from the safe. Remember, she's digging around and then you see it, but she doesn't take it, you know. And he's very suspicious. He knows she's up to bullshit. And she's going to meet James and give him the Solex device. That's what the plan is. Oh, so she does steal it from the safe. That's right. And he knows he can't trust her anymore, Scaramanga.
Yeah. But James, that means he banged that chick, took a shower, went to sleep, woke up, smoked a cigar, put on his robe, and then fucking gets her out of the closet. That is fucked up.
So did you sleep well in the closet? It's a lot roomier once you get in there.
How comfortable with those hangers, darling?
Oh, I hope we didn't make too much noise and you couldn't sleep.
Did we keep you up, darling? Dude, that's fucked up. Dude forgot all about her, went to sleep, got a full night's sleep, and then wakes her up in the closet.
Oh, I was so comfortable. I overslept.
That bed is so comfortable, darling. You wouldn't know. You in the closet.
So we cut to this Muay Thai. I think it's kickboxing or Muay Thai. I'm unsure which. You see some knees and elbows and kicks flying.
Yeah,
so
same thing.
Yeah, whatever. And he meets Scaramanga's girlfriend there. She's going to give him the Solex device.
Yeah.
Then he notices she's not moving and not responding. And he looks at her chest, and there's a bullet hole right where her heart is. So, yeah, she got shot by the man with the golden gun. Somehow.
Smoked.
Yeah, she got killed somehow sitting here in front of a crowd of thousands.
Mm-hmm. And drops the device on the floor.
Right. Yeah, there it is.
Again, blood. You don't see blood in James Bond movies.
She has very good posture for a dead woman.
Yeah, very stiff. Very rigor mortis already said it. They brought her in stiff.
Rigor mortis.
Brought her in right past security. Weekend at Bernie's. No, she's fine. Just sick.
And then Asian
Sarah.
British guy, he's a peanut vendor, and it's all a
He's
plan.
like-
They're gonna
like
get
he's
the
going-
Solex device and then hand it off to this guy eventually.
Looks like he's going, they shot her. She's dead, James. And then, so that's what they plan to do and pass it off to the peanut guy, which is pretty cool plan. We'll see what happens.
Right. So Scaramanga shows up. They finally meet face to face. They talk about having third nipples. He tells them that you're just like me. You're a great killer. You're the only one who can match me. And then Bond is very offended, like, I only kill when it's righteous and when the queen, when my country needs it. I don't kill for fun like you. I'm not a sicko, whatever. I did shove a woman in a closet and shove a boy out of a boat. Don't hold it against me. But yeah, the Solex device has ended up on the ground. He buys some peanuts, picks it up when Scaramanga's not looking, and gives it to Asian British guy, who gives it to ditzy blonde spy woman.
Why would you do that? She's like some junior level fucking spy. Can't do shit. Doesn't know shit. She's halfway in love with James.
Again,
this you give it to her?
Stupid writing. She goes outside to Knick-Knack's car that Scaramanga's going to get in, and she's going to jimmy the trunk open to stick a transponder in there so they could GPS track him or whatever, instead of just stick it under the bumper.
Yeah.
You have to
Put
open
a
the trunk
magnet on it.
Just
stick it to the bumper. Then she goes outside, gets thrown in the fucking trunk. Now they have her and the device that they just stole from the guy. And then James Bond is just sitting in his seat, not going anywhere.
I was taking in the fight, my good fellow. It was quite captivating.
Why didn't he just stick it in his own pocket and stay there? He fucking the peanut guy. He shouldn't even have gave it to the peanut guy. Keep it to yourself. Put it in your pocket. The bad guys walk away. Now you still have the device. Why would you give it to the fucking girl to get kidnapped?
I don't know. They get a stupid ass chase scene. Knick-Knack and Scaramanga and the British spy girl Goodnight her. She's in the trunk with the device. She's in the trunk with the Solex device. James Bond, they kind of chase after him and Peanut Guy, but they have to get he gets this red car from a dealership that J.D. Pepper, the Louisiana sheriff, happens to be sitting in the car at the dealership. See, it's this stuff that I'm telling you.
So he lives here now.
The script writers didn't write this. This is the executives giving notes to the writers, just like Madam Web. Oh, no. He's sitting in the car. That's how he finds J.D. Pepper. Why would an American tourist from Louisiana be looking to buy a fucking car in Hong Kong?
Why is he in this movie?
Even better question, my man.
Why is he even in the movie? He serves no purpose except for, I guess, comedic relief during this fucking chase scene.
I guess.
He could have gotten that from the Asian British spy dude.
Oh my God. It's so stupid. They're driving, they're chasing the bad guys, and J.D. Pepper, he's all in. So you're that British spy man from Louisiana, blah, blah, blah. And then he deputizes Bond, I think, right? Doesn't he do something like that?
So there's no jurisdiction.
But it's like, you have no jurisdiction. It's not Louisiana. It's Hong Kong. You're not in charge of anything here.
He doesn't have jurisdiction outside of his fucking county, let alone outside of the country. But in fucking Hong Kong, man, I can tell you what.
This is the low point of the movie. Now, the movie does not hit a low point and go up. It hits a low point and then just stays there forever. This low point is about 30 feet underground. They do a Dukes of Hazzard kind of. They get on the wrong side of the river from the bad guys chasing him in the car, and it's going to be like a mile to go back and turn around. So he sees a broken bridge and another broken bridge thing. It's not even a bridge, like a wooden sculpture or a wooden structure that's sort of. He drives it, it flips his car, and then, but they play a slide whistle when it happens.
Well,
it's
what are the Duke boys gonna do? That's what this fucking looks like. This is so stupid. Why?
So they chase him to this barn. They get in there. The authorities catch up to them. They're going to arrest everyone. And then
Wait. Before we take the first bite of this fucking souffle right here. First, that he's about to slap the cuffs on old fucking Boss Hogg with his fucking 3 pounds of chew in his mouth. But then they hear something, hear like a jet engine. Everybody turns like, what the hell? Then it cuts to Knick-Knack Paddywhack next to Scaramanga, and he's in the driver's seat of this car. And fucking cars in the 70s are so damn ugly.
Right.
This ugly ass car, and if you like remotes, remote controls, and like control rooms, you're gonna lose it all over yourself because Knick Knack has this remote that causes the side of the building to open a special way so that airplane car hybrid can get out.
No, let's
Instead
just
of
talk about this though. Why do you have a car that you drive into a barn with special doors that open to accommodate the wings and the shape of all that technology and money spent? Why don't you just have a plane inside the barn?
yeah, and you have a sliding door that you just open.
Right, and why? Like, because you drive a car and then you have to attach wings to it and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of just having a plane in there, which would probably be less money.
Just have some nameless, faceless goons open the doors, and they just slide the doors open, and you come out in a regular airplane instead of this fucking piece of shit right here.
And then this thing flies away, dude. It's embarrassing because you could tell this is about a foot-long remote control airplane. You could totally tell. This is beyond embarrassing.
Dude, this is a $7 million budget. This is a third world country. And this is what you give us. That $7 million should have went so far in Southeast Asia. It probably ended up on Ladyboys and fucking Coke.
It's horrible. You know the way a remote control airplane moves? It's just that it doesn't move like a regular plane. It kind of has that dancey way where it kicks out the ass.
Because it's a remote control.
Right. This moves just like that. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Why?
That looks fucking terrible. That looks like what a fourth grade kid would draw.
Oh my God. It's so bad, dude.
That looks like shit.
So then it's back to base.
To the slanted boat.
It's back to base. Okay, so his plane was here, and then he flew to his secret base in those big limestone pillar islands, a couple hours from Hong Kong or wherever these are. I don't know exactly where. I've seen them before. They're magnificent. Bond's going to fly in a jet below the radar line, invade the base, get the Solex back, kill Scaramanga, and save Goodnight. That's the plan.
Yeah, finally tap Goodnight.
Right. He lands on the beach. They bring him a drink. They're dressed as men as leisure. And then Scaramanga shows him the facility where all the solar energy is collected, and these things are like negative 400-degree coils and blah, blah, blah. And there's a lone guy in the back. You can see him in the center. He's real small underneath those yellow lights. He's the lone maintenance man that runs this whole thing. And he looks a lot like Reggie Jackson of the Oakland A's and the New York Yankees. We call him Mr. October. He has no lines in this movie, this poor guy. No lines.
Not one.
He's just there to look jacked and get killed by Goodnight with a wrench to the back of the head.
He's a big old dude until he gets his cranium cracked by a fucking piston or whatever that was she hit him with.
Yeah. So
he's explaining the classic explain everything to you.
With Bond. Here's exactly how it works, and it's one weak point.
Yeah, come over here. Let me show you. Here, put your hand there. There you go. Put your hand there. Then press this. He's like Ghost Eye standing behind him, maneuvering his fucking hands for him. So he shows, let me show you how it works. And then blows up his airplane. And you see this in action movies where he's telling the good guy, we're cool now, but I'm still going to kill you. Like, you're not going anywhere.
Right.
So he fucks up his airplane. And then starts telling him this whole plan and how we got started and what I like to do. I'm a Sagittarius. I like long walks on the beach. It's fucking ridiculous. And then and then you get into the stupid funhouse. Weird.
Well, first they have to have their dinner and insult each other a little bit,
Oh yeah, they have their little back and forth. For some reason they threw good night in a bikini. Whatever, not complaining. But she just ends up in a two-piece. And cool island. Like, what little boy doesn't think it's cool to have like a fucking fortress inside of a rock somewhere tropical with a little dude to do everything for you? It sounds great. And guns and shit, lasers. This is like and then. This is a $7 million.
Then I had a private island, and then on the island there was a solar panel that also had a gun on it. And then I had a girlfriend; she had a bikini, and I had a midget butler. And then the good guy came, but then I killed the good guy. Just
Yeah, with my laser, I blew up his airplane, so he couldn't leave. Like, man, this movie was made by NN Productions.
Yeah, and then
And
I
then-
didn't get a shot of it, but right before they serve the food to have their fancy little lunch or dinner here, Knick Knack, the little one, they show him getting the food off of the stove, like he prepared all this gourmet food, but it's hilarious because it's a little stove because he's so short.
Yeah, it took him twice as long.
It's like an easy bake oven and like My First Kitchen or whatever. It's like
It takes him like 20 minutes to cook one hamburger because he has to do it like little pieces out of fucking.
It comes with a light bulb.
Oh, damn it, Nick!
They are almost done. The hamburger. The hamburger is almost done.
Why is everything so tiny, Nick? Like everything you make is so tiny. Everything's bite size. I want a full size hamburger. I'm tired of the 8 little tiny hamburgers.
You hate me. You are so
Eat
rude
this.
to me. I am your
Eat
friend.
this.
I cook you hamburger and you insult me.
Get me big air oven. I can't get you a bigger oven. Look at yourself. Make regular size.
I can do it. I can do it. You say you never believe in me because I'm short. I'm a bigger man than you inside.
Just make my fucking food regular size. All right, you little bastard. What the hell?
Made you a little snack.
What the hell? So dumb. So they're having their little, battle of wits here with the little midget and the half.
Says it's where White Castle came from.
Little burgers. Except White Castles are huge to that guy.
I heard of White Castle for years, and it sounded like the greatest thing ever. And I went now, to be fair, I've only been to the White Castle in Las Vegas. That might not be representative of a regular White Castle. Dude, it was not good. I thought it was going to be like a real treat. And I just thought it was kind of.
I mean, they're just like little tiny burgers and fries. Nothing special. There will be no Michelin style.
It just sounded amazing when I heard of it. And then it was like,
I think it's more of a drunk 2 a.m. stoned thing. Then you're like, dude, they're tiny. But to that guy, White Castle burger, he's like, oh shit, I cannot eat all of this. This is a huge burger.
Can I have a doggy bag to take this home?
Can you cut this in half for me? This giant burger.
I will have 1 White Castle and 1 French fry.
Please. 1 small fry coming up. No. Just take 1 single fry out of the bag. I will be stuffed. Oh, the wonderful fry.
Goodness. So Scaramanga says they're going to have a face-off because I need to defeat the ultimate assassin to prove I'm the greatest assassin. There's a good germ of a story here. They don't execute it all. There's a good concept. The ultimate bad guy thinks he's the same as the hero, pisses the hero off, and that's a neat concept. Horrible story, horrible movie.
But instead of watering that seed, watering the seed, they just piss on it.
Right, they just poured Gatorade on it instead.
It's not gonna grow. I know it's liquid.
So they go outside to have the duel, and I will count 20 paces. They count to 20. James Bond spins around to shoot, and Scaramanga is nowhere to be seen.
Where did he go?
Then Reggie Jackson makes a move on Goodnight. Not sure what that's about.
What's up, baby? Would you like to make sex with the baseball style of Octobel?
It gets very lonely in my evil lair.
They call me Monsieur Octobel. Would you like to see my baguette?
Scaramanga is not really in charge of this evil bad guy. If it was not for me, this entire place would fall apart. In a way, I am the true mastermind.
I take care of this equipment. You will fall in love with me, and you will help me take care of all this equipment.
Villain fight between Jaws and Odd Job. Who would win? I'm going to Odd Job. He's got that hat that can slice things when he throws it. So he's got distance.
Yeah, but
Jaws,
if he misses, then Odd Job's going to get a hold of you and bite you with his titanium fucking teeth.
Right. That's Moonraker, right? We got to do that one eventually.
Well, you better check to make sure it's better than this shit before we watch it.
We'll take a break from Bond for a week because this is awful.
Fuck. Over Bond.
Terrible.
OB'd.
I'm surprised the franchise didn't end after this movie.
I'm sure this sent some executives out of a fucking window.
So then we got crazy acid-induced funhouse, just like the opening sequence, which again, it's a neat idea. The execution is lacking, and the execution is everything in art. Everyone has good ideas. The difference that makes it pro or not is executing the idea, and they do not execute the ideas in this.
Nope.
So he goes in. It's a little bit of cat and mouse. Where's Scaramanga? Where's Bond? Bond loses his gun at one point. He drops it like,
Like
it looks like 30
jackass.
Yeah, he drops it, climbing on some scaffolding. The little knick-knack. He's trying to spy with his cameras to, I guess, let Scaramanga know where James is. So James crawls under a place you're not supposed to go in the funhouse, and he's able to operate that way. Scaramanga goes to that room where he killed the assassin in the opening act, and the statue of James Bond is there with the missing fingers. That'll come into play.
You can totally tell that he's holding a fake hand with the fingers chopped off.
Golly, that's 2 movies now. The fake claw hand in the last movie by Mr. T.
Yeah, but look at this. Like the way his arm just doesn't look normal. Like if you drew that,
It looks like 2 elbows. It looks like an elbow up high and an elbow down low. Like what's
it
happening?
doesn't fucking look right. That's why he's holding the fake fucking hand.
Right. So that's supposed to be like a wax statue of James Bond that this Scaramanga keeps in his lair because he hates Bond and he's going to get him eventually. And that's why he shot the fingers off of the statue.
And that's obviously the real James Bond is a real human. And you see him moving.
Right. Right. You do see this kind of wobbling a little. It's horrible.
Yeah.
What they should have done, just take this picture and freeze frame it for like 2 seconds. Then it looks still,
No, he was all shit faced with too many Mai Tais the night before. He's all wobbly and shit.
I've tied one on.
Put some string and like hold his arm up in place like that so he doesn't fucking move.
Something. Yeah.
That's the color of the background. I mean, fuck, man. It's not like you guys aren't afraid to do shitty scenes. But at least try.
Yeah, they're not afraid to do stupid things in this movie.
Give it a shot.
So I remember a friend of the show, Todd Sanfante, we'll have to have him back. He said when he was doing The Quest with Van Damme in 96 or 95, or in the mid-90s, Roger Moore, this guy right here, was in that movie. And he said that was one of the nicest big shot Hollywood stars he ever met. I remember he said that more than once when he was on here, that Roger Moore was so down to earth. He served everyone at the table there ice water. It was really hot. And he grabbed the pitcher and went around and filled everyone's cup and this and that. But I remember him saying he was so impressed with what a nice down to earth guy Roger Moore was. So bad movie aside, if my friend Todd says it's a good guy, then I'll say it's a good guy. So anyway, they're just skulking around this stupid fun house, this acid trip. And then guess what? Look at the hand on the James Bond statue there. The fingers are no longer missing.
They're back.
You know why?
How'd he do that?
Because he just shot the man with the golden gun right through his black heart. Boom.
You little fucker.
Then we run up to the girl kills the Reggie Jackson lookalike downstairs in the solar energy collection area by knocking him into the freezing liquid nitrogen, and that overheats it. That sets up a chain reaction that's going to blow up the whole island. James Bond is down inside this thing where this laser's coming down to collect the solar energy. He's trying to pull out the Solex device, that little thing they got from the guy that got shot in the forehead, and to turn off the laser so it doesn't burn James's hand off, she accidentally leans her butt on this thing, which of course she does, right? And that turns it back on. I believe that sets it all off. He gets her to turn it off. He eventually gets a stupid device out of there. They run out. It's blowing up. They get in the junk. That's what these boats they call them in the Hong Kong harbor. And now, the worst part of the movie is about to happen. You think the movie ended.
Yeah, everybody's dead on the island.
But there's one little loose end.
So one tiny thing he has to wrap up.
They're going to make it. He's going to finally give it to Goodnight because she's been waiting. She had to sit in the closet and listen to him shtup that other one.
So she knows how good he is.
She saw him drive off with those Asian broads that were the nieces of his friend, who, by the way, if he's British intelligence, oh, wait, no, he must live in Hong Kong because Hong Kong had British rule at the time. I was going to say, doesn't he live in England? Why are his nieces over here? Anyway, she's about to make the beast with two backs with this guy. And guess who's up high in the ceiling being a little fucking peeper creeper again?
Jerking off.
I see you. You Jericho.
Right there. Keep it right there, please.
Yes, that is good. N'est-ce pas?
Right there. Oh,
if you want to see the worst, most embarrassing, cringy fight you've seen, this is it.
This is basically British Special Forces right here. He's a British secret agent. Probably has military experience. If he does, it's probably Special Forces. And this is how he handles somebody who's 3'11". This is like in the Chucky movies, where they're letting a doll kill him. It's absolutely ridiculous.
But he's rolling and hiding under furniture. James Bond is swiping a broken chair leg under there, like to get him like you're getting a rat out of your house.
Yeah, he should have grabbed this little fucker like, let me go, let me go. Fucking boop, toss his ass, put a bullet in his head and toss his ass over the side of the fucking boat. Instead, he allows him to grab 10 bottles of wine, which are empty, by the way, and throw them at him. And he's behind things, knocking the bottles out of the air, trying not to get hit. Like he couldn't rush this little fucker and incapacitate him.
Is this the worst on-screen fight we've seen in the 3 years we've been doing this? I think so. Because I felt secondhand embarrassment watching this.
Yeah, this is pretty terrible.
This is
a little tiny dude.
You
should have had it somewhere where like they had some kind of fight, but it was in his lair, so he knows the layout. He has a little trap set up where he can like sweep his feet and disappear. You hear him scatter. Some shit like that. But to have it happen here, like this little midget is so badass. I know no matter where he is, he can give a British special agent, the British special agent, a run for his money is fucking laughable. He should have grabbed that little motherfucker, slammed him up against the wall till he was unconscious, and tossed him in the bay to be fish food for a fucking caiman. But no.
It's so dumb. So then he captures the little fella with a suitcase, and he's like, "No, I will get my revenge."
No, stop it! Oh, you asshole! No, please don't do that. So stupid. He closes him up in a fucking suitcase. Does he throw him in the water?
No, he puts him out on the mast.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So he could die of exposure from the sunlight and no drinking water. He's going to kill him with torture.
Dude,
But
I would throw him over the side of the water.
Mercifully, this movie's over. But right before M, the big boss from Britain Intelligence, calls, "Oh, 007, blah, blah, blah. You defeat the bad guy." This is Scaramanga, the bad guy's boat.
Mm-hmm.
How does M have this phone number? A. B. How does M know James Bond is lying 12 inches from this phone? You can't do that when you write. The story has to make sense. There's no way they have this phone number. There's no way they know he's there. It makes zero fucking sense. Oh, it's so annoying, stuff like this.
No, it just happened. He just knew the number. They had it the whole time. They just didn't want to use it.
You think Bond blew up the island and is now in the boat laying next to the bed and the phone that we just magically have the number to?
What time is it, good man? Oh, 3 o'clock. Of course, James is done with all of his missions.
You think he's going
by
for
3
shag
o'clock.
with Goodnight right now?
Yeah, he's about to stick it in right now. He's right next to the phone. Watch, go. Give him a go. Oh, you're right, sir.
So he calls M, then he wants to talk to Goodnight, and then Bond just says Goodnight and hangs up. So they use her name for a joke.
Uh-huh.
And then she's like, "Oh, James, did you kill him or whatever?" He's like, "Nah, no. I tied him to the mast."
Not yet.
And then the movie mercifully ended.
Not yet. Of course not, Dad. I'm gonna let him die of exposure.
This
It's like at least 2 weeks before he's dead.
This movie's so bad, it's unbelievable.
Oh, James. I love when you torture people and murder them over time.
I love when you torture a helpless midget who could never stand a chance against you. James Bond is an awful person in this movie.
Oh,
He's no
I'm
hero.
so ready, James.
Dude, he's screwing one lady and making his date wait in the closet and listen, pushing little boys out of boats, torturing a midget. He's terrible.
Yep.
He's a bad dude.
But hey, it's finally over.
Yeah. This was a disgrace, this movie, and I wish I'd never seen it.
Yeah, it was a piece of shit.
That's a big letdown because I really liked Live and Let Die. I thought it carried on great from Connery.
Yeah. But
This movie was a travesty, dude.
quick letdown. Good movie, and then, ooh, what the fuck is this? Yeah.
This movie's like when you're feeling really happy and you're hot dogging it, and all of a sudden you just like drop everything on the floor or something, Like you ever, my son made himself a masterwork of a breakfast sandwich, like fried bacon, fried egg, cheese, a little this sauce, that, toasted the bagel or the croissant perfectly. He sets it all out, puts it, he's going to watch TV or something, puts it on the coffee table, goes in the kitchen, get his coffee, comes back. My dog Jean has eaten the sandwich.
Oh, murderous. We might have
This
lost
is what this is what those two movies are like to me. Last week was like, dude, that was awesome. This week is like the dog fucking ate my breakfast.
Oh,
So last week was the sandwich. This week was the dog. So you ever do one like that? You make yourself something real nice, then you just spill it everywhere.
Oh yeah, my dog. We never let her in the house, but for some reason I let her in, and I was about to eat dinner after football practice, and it was a stuffed bell pepper, perfect, cheese, all that. Came back and there was like this much of it, like the bottom inch of it left. And she was like licking her lips.
Dog looks at you like, are there more of these?
I wanted to fucking beat that dog to death.
There's nothing like being hangry, man.
Oh. But it was my fault, for leaving it at a level where she could have gotten it.
Right.
Like, listen up, dog. Don't eat this delicious thing that you can smell from a nautical mile away. All right?
All right. Well, we've gone late. Any last words on this piece of shit?
There's nothing to say about this.
It's a bad movie, guys. Don't watch it because it's not the good bad. The good bad is funny. You can make fun of it with your buddies and watch it. This is not even that.
This is bad.
This is bad. This is not as bad, but this is Madam Web bad. This is a bad movie.
It's pretty close. It's like not all the way to the butthole, but it's like on the midway through the taint.
It's in town. It's in the vicinity. It's in the zip code.
It's butthole adjacent.
Yeah,
it's not quite that.
So this is awful.
Yep.
And what is there anything good about this movie? I think Knick Knack. I think the name is funny. I think the concept is good. A crazy assassin who wants to take on James Bond 101. Great concept. Horrible execution.
No, this is on the half-yard line. You're playing a shitty team. There's a truck-sized holder run through, and you fumble the ball. There's just no excuse for it.
This is the Detroit Lions at the playoffs. They had a great season, and they just shit the bed in the playoffs.
Shit the bed.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for this. There's too many stars, too much money behind this to create a product. Just imagine if somebody gave you whatever you do for a living, somebody gave you $7 million to do your best.
And then you did your worst.
And you just totally do the worst thing you've ever done before in your life.
And even say you tried, you just fumbled everything.
So
for next week, no decision yet. I'll confer with Jericho. We had some real stinkers from Steven Seagal that we wanted to get to. Or that Unnecessary Force with that guy from Karate Kid, right? Is that what it was called?
Oh yeah. Excessive Force.
Excessive Force, maybe. Okay,
you told Thomas Ian Griffith.
Now you told me that one's funny bad. It's not bad.
That's not bad.
Okay.
But I must say, here's an addendum. I think that's the right word. I haven't seen it since it came out in 1993.
Oh, well, it has been 32 years. You might be wrong.
But I watched the trailer, and it's not bad. So we'll see.
Okay, guys, he's JG Talk on Instagram, JG Talk 2 on Instagram. He's Green_Jericho on X. And of course, he's just Jericho Green and Green's House here on YouTube. I am Big Man Comics on X. I'm Gabe Eltaeb. You see, it's a little funny how to spell it, but I'm everywhere else, Facebook, Instagram, and of course here YouTube. Hit the like, hit the share, go to bigmancomics.com, get Dean Cain, All-American Lawman. The first printing is still in stock, just a few left. And anything for the audience, Jericho? We're just going to say we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. We'll have a good one for you.
Oh, Friday Datitude. Last week's Datitude got canceled. Matthew was coming on, got called in to go on the Blaze television show or whatever at like literally 9 minutes before we went on air. Jericho had some things come up, so I said, you know what? Wasn't meant to be. Sorry about that, guys. It wasn't meant to be. But this Friday, we will reconvene for Datitude at 11 Pacific right here. And then tomorrow, I'll be alone for Big Man Comics Live at 11 Pacific. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Peace.